Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Jumbo's Cast coverage of the Collegiate Star League tournament. We're here in the League of Legends division. I'm Andrew Howe, joined here by Adi Pal Parikh. We got our exciting week 8 or 7 matchup between Tufts University and Marist College.
Yeah, it's going to
And
be
yeah,
definitely an exciting game. Yesterday we had an incredibly close match where NYU was able to scrape away with a win in 3 games, and while it sadly ended in a loss for Tufts, there was definitely a decent amount of shining moments, giving us a lot of hope for today's match and ideally a successful run to playoffs. I'm certainly excited to see how Tufts will bounce back from the match yesterday and see as they take on Marist.
yep, Marist is another team sitting in that playoff spot, but now that Tufts has dropped that last game yesterday, they are now in a do or die scenario for the rest of the CSL regular season. You got to win every single match, including this one against a tough Marist opponent, or else you're out. Top three make the playoffs, and you're going to be on the outside looking in if you don't take this win here.
Yeah, it's definitely a tall order, but I have faith. I think they can do it.
Yeah, I mean, this Tufts team has always been extremely talented as we get into the pro draft here in this game one. Marist has taken the blue side, Tufts has taken the red side. But yeah, I mean, we saw that lane swap happen yesterday between Argentine Import and Easy Life, and though Tufts didn't walk away with the win, there's a lot of interesting things we could point to say how successful that team composition was.
Yeah, there definitely was a lot of success in the early games in games 2 and 3 with the jungle presence from Morn, and while it wasn't able to like turn themselves into wins, I would like to see a similar level of aggression and early plays made by Morn, especially in the top side where they had a lot of success with the mid-top jungle trio.
Yeah, and once again, the lineup for Tufts will be Argentine Import up top, Morn in the jungle, Easy Life in the mid lane with Jansu and Constantine Valdor rounding out their bottom side of the map. Whereas on the other side, here on the blue team, we got Maris with Croissant Bandit up top, Bear Dog in the jungle, Heart in the mid lane, Lage Wheels in the ADC position, and 2 scouts that support.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting. All the bands are in for the first round, so Maris is going to get their first pick right now.
Yep, it looks like Samira, Elise, Oriana, Aatrox, Rel, and Shen have been taken off the table for the bans. That Kaisa has been a priority pick for all of Season 11, and especially here in the Collegiate Star League, and it's going to be locked in here for Maris to start this thing off.
Yeah, Kai'Sa is definitely a really strong pick. Has a lot of potential to like win those 1v1s against the other ADC. Have a lot of kill pressure with the Hail Blades and the W, but the Felios answered by the side of Tufts, and I really like this pick. Jansu is very proficient on Aphelios. We saw him pop off a few times yesterday on Aphelios. It's really good for like comps that want to like dive into him, and Kai'Sa does like have that ulti to like kind of dive onto someone, and if she does it with the wrong guns on Aphelios can definitely turn the fight. And we see Ivern and Camille for Marist.
Ooh.
Ivern is a champion that also has risen a lot in popularity this season because of the really good shielding items. That Moon Staff combo is one that's been very popular on many champions and is definitely really strong on Ivern. And so if some of these carries can pop off, the Ivern could definitely help solidify those fights.
Yeah, and Ivern could even potentially be flexed into another lane, traditionally mid. I don't know how comfortable Heart would be on that champion, but it has seen some play in some of the solo lanes as well, even though it's traditionally played in the jungle. So since the mid laner has not been locked in for Maris, always something to look out for. Not something I'm entirely expecting, but always an interesting point to look out for there. Olaf and Leona are the other picks for Tufts here. Morn had an excellent game on the Gore Drinker Olaf in that game one, which was their win over NYU in the previous game yesterday. And Constantine Valdor on another heavy engaged support, something that we've seen from him a lot so far in CSL.
Yeah, I really like the pick of Leona. Constantine Valdor has played a ton of Leona, especially in the first half of this league, and the other support plays a ton of Leona as well. So, really good pickup. I'm very interested to see how this Ivern Olaf matchup is going to go on because Ivern elected to take this matchup as the Olaf was picked first, and Olaf is kind of one of those aggressive bully jungles, will like you know have the early skirmishing power. Is really good early game, just turning on that Ragnarok and diving the back line. And I think early on, Olaf kind of wins those duels against the Ivern and can like apply a little more pressure. So we'll see how that jungle matchup goes on. Like you said, Morn played Olaf very well yesterday in game one and has been playing a ton of Olaf recently during this break we've had, and definitely excited to see what he can do with that champion.
Taking a look at the second phase of bans as they round out, Yone, Lulu, Seraphine, and Renekton all taken off the board here. R4 going over to Tufts in a couple of seconds. We'll see what gets locked in there. And it looks like it's going to be a solo laner going to be picked up here. Galio is being hovered. We saw Easy Life play this champion a couple of times yesterday, also taking away that Camille Galio combo that we so often see. And it's going to be Kassadin potentially hovered as a response.
Yeah, I like this pick because it also takes away the possibility of facing on the Galio Camille matchup, but Kassadin is also a very good pick into it because they both kind of have that extra magic damage to you know keep themselves safe and lane against each other. But Kassadin has that scaling to go late, and if Galio isn't able to make a lot of plays, this Galio can't, or this Kassadin can kind of run away with the game.
Yep, Kassadin is going to be locked in, as well as the Nautilus potentially here for Marist. Two scouts going to be taking that Titan of the depths down in the bottom lane. But the Kassadin to the Galio matchup definitely pretty good for the Kassadin. Galio is not a champion that can really pressure you off in your early weak stages. And so seeing this picked up is definitely really scary for Heart X and the rest of Maris. They have a really great scaling composition. The Ivern on top of the Kaisa, getting that Kassadin to late game. It's definitely going to be a really scary team fighting composition as we get later into this matchup here. The final pick is going to be going over to Tufts on the red side. Sion is going to be hovered as that matchup into Camille that we saw yesterday. And Argentine Import is going to try that one once again.
Yeah, yesterday Archie and Import had a really good showing on Scion. I think it was into the Camille again, and in the end, Camille was actually able to make a lot of work by diving on to Jiansu in the backline and helping to get that extra Q damage down. But I think it's a very good pick for Argentine Import. He was able to do a lot with it yesterday, and excited to see what he can do with it today.
Yeah, and that's once again the Scion into the Camille. We saw Argentine Import do a really great job on it yesterday, as you said before, Adi, and a matchup that is traditionally kind of a Camille favorite until you get later into the game. But once you get later, Scion builds up those resistances. It's going to be really hard for Camille to really do anything here. But that's going to round out the team compositions here for the Jumbos. And a very similar look that we saw in some of the earlier games in the series against NYU Lilac.
Yeah. This comp looks pretty similar to the comp they had in game one, which I really like because they were able to team fight and play macro on that really well. Obviously the Scion is there instead of the Camille and the Leona instead of the Yumi, but the Galio, Olaf, Aphelios are the same, and I think this is nice because it like gives them like a little bit more of a win condition as they go into late game if they need to play a little bit from a loss like yesterday.
Yeah, and once again, this series is so important for Tufts. They obviously got off to that game one victory yesterday, but after that kind of turned on its head there. And as NYU took the next two games, Tufts is gonna hopefully not repeat history here, as we want to see that miracle run happen, continuing to win these games here for the Jumbos as they kind of make their way throughout the CSL season, and they're gonna be playing against a lot of tough opponents. I mean, Boston University is still on the table for them to play. Columbia is still there. A lot of good teams, and it's going to be difficult for Tufts to try and pull this one out. But they have the skills to do it, and I think if they can get their team chemistry a little bit more better organized, I think they definitely have a good chance.
Yeah, like I said, there definitely are some little things they need to work on. A couple of minor fixes to help solidify those games, like yesterday. But I definitely think that they have a pretty decent shot of winning out and making playoffs, and it all starts here. So definitely going to be a very exciting match. if we win this match, the next match is also going to be pretty exciting. So I guess we have an exciting run to the end of the split.
Yep, definitely. So we're gonna take a quick break. But we got game one action coming up soon between Marist College and Tufts University Blue. Don't go anywhere. The series is about to get underway. You're not going to want to miss a single moment. We'll see you then. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Summoner's Rift, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for game 1 here in the CSL. Got Tufts University blue versus Marist College. Marist on the blue side, Tufts on the red side. I am Andrew Howe, joined by Adi Paparik and another 4-stack to start this game up in game 1.
Yeah, yesterday it was NYU who was doing the 5-stack every game and Tufts with the 5-point, but this time it seems like Tufts is the one electing to go for that 5-stack, trying to cheese the top laner, but the top laner sees it coming and they're just gonna walk into the enemy top side.
Yep, Krasop Bandit did not end up falling for the bait. Looks like he saw 5 members stacked up there. Did get that ward on the blue buff, but it looks like Marist answered that right back on the other side of the map. So it looks like both sides will kind of know where the other is starting as we start the camps up in the 130 mark.
Yeah, and if the Olaf is starting red side, he should still be relatively safe. Normally, if you're going for a play like this, you might be a little wary of the Nautilus Kaisa, camping out into that bush because there is, again, no leash from the Ivern. But Nautilus Kaisa are actually going to elect to try to cheese on that bush in the bot lane.
Yeah, we'll see if 2 scouts and large wheels can kind of make this work out. And it looks like the hook is probably going to be able to land right onto Jansu. He's going to face check the bush. You don't want to do that. The flash has already been burned. The treasure line will miss, but a huge summoner spell already blown for the side of Tufts University.
Yeah, and I think there's just not a lot of respect to the Ivern. Ivern doesn't need a leash, and the Kaisa Nautilus can be camping a bush. They are very aggressive bot lane, having the synergy of the pull and CC from Nautilus applying 2 stacks, and the Halo Blades W Kaisa. Well, obviously she didn't have W there, but having that extra burst damage on top of it.
Yeah, and already with the flash down on the Aphelios, still has the heal, still has the phase rush, but definitely a much easier target, especially on such an immobile champion like this Aphelios. And Bear Dog is pathing around, gonna probably go back down towards his bottom side of the jungle to pick up those already spawned camps that he's already marked with his passive. And I'm expecting to see bot lane get a decent amount of attention here in this early game now that the flash is gone.
Yeah, I really want to see Bear Dog try to go for some more plays in the bot lane, like I said, because that flash is down. Cassidy, I don't think she'll be able to get a ton of pressure on the bot lane before that flash comes up, because Cassin is one of those more scaling champions, and there is potential for roams once he hits 6, but flash should be up by then.
Bear Dog is headed here into the middle lane. The root's gonna hit onto Easy Life along with the shield damage. Justice Punch is gonna buy some time. No flash has been issued for Easy Life because he knows he's already dead. That's first blood going over to Marist.
Yeah, and I think Easy Life probably should have used the flash there. There's a reason to believe that if he flashed, the Ivern could just like follow with the Q anyway, and it would have been a wasted summoner. But he did end up falling, and he just easily TP's back, so shouldn't miss too much of a wave. But that's still first play going over to Cassidon, which as a resident ADC main, it's very scary to see.
Yeah, Mono Cassidon could be changing that KDA a little bit in just a second. Thorn has run down from the middle lane to try and counter that gank. And Easy Life already coming into lane, burning the teleport, and it's so few HP. And as you said before, Adi, that 1-0 Cassidon so early in this game is going to be pretty scary.
Yeah, and because Easy Life just TP'd back and then got immediately chunked by the jungle mid duo, Cassidon's going to be able to either TP back or hold that TP and have the advantage, and Easy Life's going to be pretty low. Granted, this is mid lane, not top, so it's not too bad if Easy Life just needs to recall and walk back to lane, but still not ideal. And good job from the jungle mid duo applying that pressure and trying to give Cassidon a little bit of a lead.
Wheels and 2 scouts have made their first recall of the game, picked up a pickaxe, and it looks like Jansu and Constantine are not going to go for that yet. The flash is still off of cooldown for Jansu, so not available just yet. So, still a pretty vulnerable Aphelios. All summoners are available on the Marist bottom lane, as well as Bear Dog's flash. So, in case if he wanted to make a play, definitely would be available. That Cloud Dragon is spawning soon. And it has spawned. It's going to be Cloud Drake first.
Yeah, not a lot of lanes for Warren to kind of gank right now. He was looking in the top lane, but it seems like Camille is just too far back and it would be a bad attempt. But there's flash in the bot lane.
Yep, Constantine is under attack. The Q from a Bear Dog will be flashed away from. Now both of the bottom laners for Tufts do not have a summoner spell, but now it's Morn going in on to Croissant Bandit, gonna help him clear this wave out, shove it out, get this reset that Argentine so desperately wants. And now that he has the ultimate available, it looks like Croissant's gonna have to be kind of careful. Gonna have to force that wave to crash in and allow Argentine to get that recall off.
Yeah, I really like that from Warren. Just trying to play around that top side, you know. Make sure Argentine Import can kind of get through this lane phase, you know, get towards the point where he can start beating the Camille, stacking up those resistances. But in exchange, bot lane's gonna work with jungler to get the dragon on the bot lane, and that was a good job from Constantine Balador, easily flashing away after the flash hook from Nautilus, trading the summoner. So overall, pretty good for the bot lane there, but they still give up the dragon, and there's a bit of a farm discrepancy in the mid and bot lane in favor of Marist.
Yep, as ever so slight, it is still a lead, and that leaves Marist with the 600 gold lead and the dragon. But taking a look at the top side of the map, that's going to be an Iron Spike Whip picked up for Argentine Import. Essentially going to look for that Gore Drinker Scion, something that's not too common. Normally you see that Sunfire Aegis picking up, but now that we're on patch 11.2, now that the tank items have been slightly nerfed, going for this Gore Drinker against a lot of melee champions that like to get in your face, even champions like Kai'Sa, can be really important for Argentine Import.
Yeah, like I said, there's a Cassidy, Kai'Sa, and Camille, all champions that like to, you know, dive on, so Gore Drinker could be very good. I definitely have not seen too much of the different kinds of builds that people can go on Scion, but you know, I trust Argentine Import with this tech, and interested to see how it'll fare in this matchup.
Losing out on a bit of a trade there. Still up that 7 CS, so about a wave has gone in his favor so far. 2 waves, though, are in favor of Hearts. Cassidy already has that lost chapter in inventory. Let's see if he can try and evade this gank. It looks like he might have spotted out more and playing it pretty passively here. But here comes Constantine as well. It's going to be 3 members of the Jumbos here in the middle lane, but the Rift walk out safely will prevent any sort of intervention onto Heart.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice try, but oh, 2 scouts, Hex Flash over, but the E from Leona.
Yep, Zenith Blade is going to help him escape, as well as the hero's entrance. Wow, nice job of the Justice Punch there, weaving in and around that Ivern Q, preventing that route onto hitting onto the Gallia. But now Heart might still be in trouble. So much damage already. This Kassadin is only level 7. Imagine what's going to happen in about 9 levels.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was still a little aggressive from Easy Life. We knew the jungle and support were right there, and I mean, there's an Ivern Bush which like lacks vision, but there's an Ivern Bush. You know that there's a chance he can be in there, and they're easily able to just come back around and get the pick. And Morn and Constantine Balador had already left, so there's no one there to help Easy Life.
Yep, that's Easy Life picking up his 2nd death of the game, and then now an 800 gold lead going over to Marist College. Right now, Johnson and Constantine Balador are going to get their resets off. 2nd buffs of the game have begun to spawn for both of these junglers. Their bot side camps are still available. And with the dragon spawning in just about 2 minutes, both of these sides might try and posture around that objective soon enough. A nice trade on to Croissant Bandit, as he's really getting the better of Argentine in the start of this game.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a little bit of an uphill battle for a while for the side of Tufts. It seems like Tufts is like not very many gankable lanes, you know, with the evasiveness of level 6 Cassidy and Kai'Sa with the Camille who just has the E in the top lane. Seems like if they're gonna get back, it's gonna have to be in fair skirmishes that they find in the river or whatever.
Heart and Easy Life going at it once again, but it looks like the Marist mid laner is gonna get in with the Rift Walk, the W, the solo kill. Easy Life thought he could bait out the kill with Constantine just around the corner, but was not able to do it. 2-0-1 on the Kassadin already. Bear Dog is gonna jump in here with the root. The Trigger Seed will not land onto anybody, but Daisy has arrived. They're gonna try and go for a potential play here around the Tufts bottom side jungle. And with Constantine really close, Hard X is still here. He has the mana, which means that he has the damage. He's going to get locked up under the tower, but not before taking down Constantine. Jansu does not have enough damage just yet. Going to have the hook onto him. And Morn is here to join the party as well. They're going to smite down Daisy, prevent that ultimate from Ivern from doing any additional damage. But now without the smite, the dragon's spawning pretty soon.
Yeah, and now it seems like Marist is just playing around that mid lane advantage. Easy Life had a good idea to try to bait for Constantine Baldor, but Two Scouts has just been following Constantine the entire time, and the Kassadin is so far ahead in this matchup. In addition, they're using this like mid lane to try to like get into the jungle and deny more and some more farms. Now that Ivern is pretty decent far ahead.
Croissant Bandit and Argentine Import nearly solo killed each other. It was going back and forth. It looked like Croissant Bandit had it. Then Argentine came back in, forced the flash out of both of the top laners. Dragon has spawned. Both of these tops still have their teleports. No ultimates available for either of them though. But right now, certainly in the hands of Marist, and they definitely have the advantage to try and take it. They're up about 1,500 gold. They have this 3-0 Kassadin who already has that Luden's Tempest in his inventory. But it looks like actually the Dragon's gonna get started up by Morn and the rest of Tufts.
Yeah, that Luden's Tempest 7-stack Dark Seal Kassadin is something no one really wants to be on the other side of at 11 minutes, but we'll see how this Kassadin transitions into late game. Obviously, it's good late game carry, but Constantine Baldor's going in.
Yeah, Two Scouts is already dead. So much lockdown, but now that all the abilities have been used on the support, is Tufts gonna be able to win the rest of this fight? Croissant Bandit has teleported in, but Argentine is here as well. That's gonna be the sapling already rooting up a lot of the champions. Heart is down though. They lock down onto the carry and take him out. That's gonna be a kill going back onto the mid laner in return though as Easy Life falls. Nice shutdown going on to the Aphelios and another kill going on to Bear Dog. Tufts turns it around and they're going for the dragon.
That was really well played for Constantine Baldor. Two really clutch Zenith Blades finding that Kassadin, locking him down and allowing for them to get the kill. You know, Kassadin has that ulti, but if Constantine Baldor is able to get the Zenith Blade first, he will follow and get that CC down, and pretty easy pickup from Jansu. And while Easy Life does fall in the end, he soaked up so much damage at the beginning of that fight with the taunt and the aftershock while they got that pick on the Nautilus that it's okay that he fell because Tufts just got so much in return.
Yep, nice pickup there for Tufts. The dragon count has been evened out. The gold lead is now only about 600. It's going to be an Infernal Soul here on the map for this game 1. But getting Jansu that early shutdown is definitely going to be crucial as we hit these later stages. Argentine, though, looks like he might be in a bit of trouble. Wheels and Two Scouts are here to try and take him down. The Unstoppable Onslaught is not available for him to try and drift out of the way. There goes the last route. The Soul Furnace will buy some time, but not enough. Flash Wheels picks it up. Argentine is in the passives though. Jansu is coming in. He's got the flash. He's got the Moonlight Vigil. He's got a kill onto Two Scouts, and Wheels is going to be forced to run away. A 1-for-1 overall.
That was kind of a 200 years, you know. The Crescendum just doing a ton of damage, and the Scion passive also melting through Two Scouts. While Argentine Import was definitely overextended a little bit. Good job of Tufts cleaning it up, but meantime, Easy Life gets picked out on the top lane.
Yep, and 5th death of the game for Easy Life. They have just been bullying this Galio all damn game. He's now at 0-5. He's now down so much gold. Make it about 2,000 against Hearts Kassadin right now. That is definitely super scary for Tufts. Galio obviously going to provide a lot of utility regardless of how strong he is. But getting this Kassadin ahead was one of the win conditions here for Marist here in this game 1. And so having that being met already is definitely not what Tufts wants.
Yeah, and with Kassadin being level 10, that a level 11 power spike, you know, those 3 big ones, 6, 11, and 16, it's going to be a little scary for Tufts, but if they can keep him locked down, you know, in between the CDs of his ulti, there may be a chance for them to have Jansu, who's already 2-0-1, dish out a ton of damage.
Mythic items are starting to come unlocked for these champions here. The only champions that don't have those mythics already are the supports. The Kaisa, who builds that extra serrated Dirk before finishing off either the Gale Force or the Kraken Slayer to get that extra Q upgrade. and Easy Life's Galio.
Yeah, a bit of a trade again in the top lane.
Gore Drinker is available for Argentine, and Thunder is available for Croissant Bandit. It looks like Argentine is actually getting the better of these trades. Nice usage of that mythic item to get some healing for himself. Hearts going in aggressively onto Easy Life, making sure he has absolutely no fun in this lane. And right now, it's Tufts currently in a bit of the backseat, but they definitely still have the potential to carry. This is going to be the Rift Herald spawned in the bottom side. Bear Dog is here alongside the rest of his bottom lane. It's going to be a 3v3 here in the bottom lane. Rift Herald and Daisy will join the party here for Marist as well. But now that Heart's coming down, it looks like there could be a big engage around this bottom tier 1 turret. The Rift Herald's going to get a chunk of damage, but now that Heart's here, Tufts is going to have to back away. First tower of the game will go over to Marist. Teleport coming in though from Easy Life. It looks like Tufts kind of wants to go aggressive in this game, but now that Easy Life is way too far away, it looks like the rest of Marist are just going to back off and prevent any sort of engage from the Jumbos, who now are down about 2,000 gold. Dragon is spawning in about a minute, and it looks like now they're going to be without that Galio teleport.
Yeah, it looks like Argent Import was trying to walk down to maybe get that ultimate and get back into the fight, but Marist did a good job of backing off, and they weren't able to find anything on the back of that play.
Yep, and now that the dragon is spawning, Galio, Easy Life is going to have to take that reset a little bit earlier than he might have wanted to make sure that he gets his items, gets in time for this next objective. Obviously, this next dragon going to be pretty important. Not the end of the world if any team loses it, but it looks like both of these teams are going to try and go for it, as both of them are posturing on the bottom side.
Yeah, Morin, first one into the area, as Ivern is short to follow. Marist vision isn't really that far up. They have that one ward up in that bush next to Volleying in the jungle, but it's hit by a pink ward, so.
Yep, dragon has spawned, but it looks like Heart, it might be under a bit of attack, gonna be forced out down into the bottom lane. And now it's Tufts that has this inner hand onto the dragon pit. That turret is gonna be taken down on the top side for the Jumbos, but now here's the teleport for Croissant Bandit. Has the ultimatum available. They're in a bit of a scary situation. It looks like they're going to be flanked on both sides. Solar Flare is only going to zone. They're going to try to lock up 2 scouts first. He is going to fall, but at the cost of Jansu. Croissant Bandit and Heart X are in the middle of the Jumbo team. They're going to use the ultimatum onto the Scion. Morn is still here, has the Gore Drinker, but is going to get taken down. Lodge Wheels picks it up, and Easy Life is going to die next. A double kill for the Marist 80 carry, and it looks like more are soon to follow. Heart X takes down Constantine. Another one goes down onto Argentine. An ace for Marist. They get 5 for 1.
Yeah, and I think that was a pretty bad engage from Tufts. They tried to go on to 2 scouts, and they were able to get the kill, but in the end, they had the Cassidy and the Camille just dive onto Jansu, who had no one to protect him because his entire team was diving onto that Nautilus. We knew that the Cassidy was on the bot side, and we know Camille TP'd and walked around. There's a control ward sitting in the tri-bush, but Jansu flashes in.
Trying to lock down hard, but that's a lot of damage coming back on the Cassidy as well. The final flamethrower shot from Jansu will take down the Heart X for the 2nd time this game.
Nice job from Jansu catching out Hardex, reading on that reset, getting himself that shutdown. But yeah, again, I want to talk about that fight. The two members that were able to dive onto Jansu were just like left on the bottom of the fight for free, easy entrance onto that ADC. And after Jansu gets down, there's no one to do DPS. Like, there's, I guess, a Gore Drinker and a Tiamat on Scion, but I mean, there's no way that can compare to the Kraken Slayer, Zeal, Berserk, Creeps of Helios.
Yeah, and at this point, Tufts is definitely behind. They're down. The Dragon's not too big of an issue, but the bigger thing is that 3,000 gold disadvantage. Baron is about to spawn, but it looks like these members, these carries of Marist are doing so much. Bounties on this Kaisa of Wheels, on the top laner of Croissant Bandit, And as we know, this Cassidy is just getting stronger and stronger by the minute. Has that large rod in his inventory as well. And he's just going to be super scary as we continue to move forward. He's going to dash in onto Argentine Import and instantly remove half of his health bar. You have the Gorge Drinker, but you're not going to be able to heal that much. Heart X is going in, but the Unstoppable Onslaught is there. It's going to be a 1-for-1, a good death for Argentine Import as he picks up Heart.
Yeah, and Argentine Import might be able to get the tower too. Oh, no, Camille's there to stop, but yeah. Argentine Import doesn't have a lot of magic resistance, but with that Gore Drinker and the Tiamat going for that more aggressive Scion build, I guess he has a little more of the damage than Hardex expected.
Yeah, and Hardex definitely wasn't expecting that. Typically when you think of Scion, you think of these big tanky guys that don't do too much damage other than that Sunfire, obviously. But now that he's going more damage Scion, more typical to something that the Baus FFS would typically go with this bruisery build of the Gore Drinker into Titanic. And you might see other items soon, so like the Sanguine Blade, or if you want to go more tanky, some other tanky items. But still a good basis of damage, as Scion can stack this health super well. The Titanic scales super well with his kit, and so far it's looking good. The Solar Flare barely missed his wheels as he just gets the back in time.
Yeah, Kai'Sa actually backing on a ward there, and I don't know if there's any way for Tufts to try to collapse on that a little earlier, but nice try from Constantine Valdor, try to catch him out. It means that Solar Flare won't be there for the next, I don't know, next like 40, 60 seconds, but yeah, good try.
Another trade here in the bottom side. Moonstaff has been completed by Bear Dog on the Ivern, sitting at 1-1 and 8. Going to be doing a lot of supportive healing for his team as he finishes off that 2-item power spike for himself. Croissant Bandit getting the better end on these trades against Argentine Import, making sure he dodges his way away from those decimating smashes and getting Argentine really low. And the rest of Marist are kind of posturing around this Baron buff as well. It's 22 minutes in the game, but you have this Kai'Sa, has the Collector, has the Gale Force, but I don't think it's going to be possible for them to try and rush it as well due to all the members of Tufts being here. Easy Life is going to just be taken away from that tower. There's no reason to contest that. Pick up your 7th death of the game as 4 members of Marist will pick up this final outer turret of the game.
Yeah, and yeah, good rotation from Marist, cleaning up that last outer, using the Daisy to apply a little more pressure, and yeah, flash hook from 2 scouts, barely misses Jansu. Good sidestep from him, but yeah, the fight for Marist definitely looks very scary, because not only do we have this 5-3 level 13 Kassadin with 2 items, but there's also the Moonstaff, meaning that Kassadin and Kai'Sa are going to be even stronger.
Yeah, just getting these extra AP ratios on these champions like Kassadin and Kai'Sa definitely going to be super important. That's where the Staff of Flowing Water comes in for Ivern, being able to provide not only the heals but also the additional stats on to these 2 carries. It's going to be the Dragon spawning in about 5 seconds. Both teams definitely want to take this. Neither side wants to give this one up. Tufts definitely don't want to be staring down Soul Point, and Marist definitely wants to get there. Tufts going to start this one up already.
Yeah, and I gotta say, for Tufts' credit, they have always been the first one into the pit. There's a little bit of fight breaking out.
Yeah, there's the Camille Gallia, but in the opposite direction. That's going to be Easy Life locking up Bandit, and Jansu already doing a lot of damage. Lodge Wheels already falls, and so does Heart. The 2 carries for Marist are down. This is a good fight for the Jumbos. The final target here will be 2 scouts, 3 members dead for Marist, and looks like the Jumbos aren't done yet. Flash Dennis Blade coming in from Constantine. He might be low. Bear Dog's going to pick him up. The Ivern is running. He has a lot of speed. He has the roots. He has the shields. Can he get away? Johnson's going to land, attack him with the hit of the Q. And it's going to be another kill going over in just a second. Potentially. My screen blacked out, so I can't really see what is going on the screen right now.
Oh, they're still chasing the Ivern, but Jansu picks it up. Yeah, and
finally the kill
like
goes.
I said in the beginning, Aphelios, when you dive on Aphelios and he has the ability to give out that DPS and that Galio ulti, beautiful Galio ulti by Easy Life, you know, using, like you said, the Camille Galio combo in the other direction. Beautiful flash from Jansu to get over the wall, get onto that Kai'Sa, and provide himself a lot of room to dish out a ton of DPS and take over that fight. And it was a nice attempt from Marist to try to catch them into that pit after they kind of gave up that dragon, but Tufts played that fight super well, and that Philios is very strong.
Looks like Argentine Import did not want any part in that engage up top side, using that ultimate to get away safely. And now Tufts is now back in this game. You're getting the items on your carries. Jansu on this Aphelios, now sitting at 5, 1, and 4. Has the Runons, has the Kraken Slayer, has that BS sword working towards that Infinity Edge, and that is basically all you need here on this AD carry. Finishing off that IE is going to be super huge for Jansu. And yeah, I'm super excited to see these fights because that was a fight that looked really dangerous for Tufts coming in. Marist had an excellent engage. Tufts was kind of all cornered into the dragon pit, but somehow Jansu managed to stay alive, and they ended up getting a lot of kills, basically making it a 4-2.
Yeah. We see Philios going for this Infinity Edge. He's very strong, has 5 kills. I'm hoping that after that Infinity Edge, he starts getting a little more defensive items. And I think if Philios can find a way to stay alive in these fights with the Galio ulti, with the Locket, there's definitely a decent chance that he can kind of, 200 years them.
The one thing though is this Kassadin. Heart X is a ticking time bomb, sitting here at 14. Once he gets to that level 16, it's going to be really a whole new level unlocked for Marist as they try and take a hold of this game 1. And right now he has that Oblivion Orb in inventory. Don't know if he's going to necessarily be finishing off that Merlin Nomicon, but definitely an option here for Heart X, but has a lot of other AP items still potentially to look out for. But yeah, Heart X, once he gets to that level 16, it's going to be super scary. Sitting here at the 27-minute mark in this game 1. Once again, Tufts needs a victory here in this series. They are looking at elimination if they don't manage to take down Marist here in this match. So once again, super important stuff. Baron is still available. That next dragon will be up in 1 minute and 23 seconds. That's where we saw the last dragon fight. That's where we saw the last big team fight. So if I was a prophet, I'd definitely be placing my bets here.
Yeah, and the Philios has that Infinity Edge, and look, again, Tufts is the first one around this objective, and while Marist is kind of running down mid lane, the entire topside jungle, or entire river is just all red.
Croissant Bandit going a bit aggressive onto Argentine Import, and it looks like Lodge Wheels and Bear Dog are here as well. 4 members of Marist are here on the Scion, but have they made an error? There's going to be a lockup on to Bear Dog, and he will get taken down, and the rest of Tufts is here. That's going to be the ultimate from Nautilus. Going to try and stall out Jansu just a little bit, but not nearly enough. 2 members are dead on Marist, and the dragon is up soon. But there's another objective, maybe Baron on the table. Don't think Tufts is going to really go for that, but they end up doing a nice job at counter-engaging that play that they made onto Argentine Import.
Good job using the Galio and Scion CC to stall for Tufts to get there, and yeah, they were easily able to turn that around, and with those death timers, this might be a 3rd dragon again for Tufts.
We'll see if it happens. 5 seconds on the dragon spawning, and they're going to have Bear Dog and 2 scouts in the base while they're taking it down.
Yeah, and with the red and white guns of the Philios, that thing is going to go down so fast.
Absolutely. Dragon has been taken down. 3rd dragon of the game for the Jumbos. And now Argentine is feeling a little bit feisty, going up against this level 15 Kassadin. No ultimate available to try and chase after it, but doing a super solid job so far. Jumbos are making a comeback here. Easy Life might be a little bit out of position. Nice use of the Justice Punch to get out away once again.
Yeah, Easy Life has been using that Justice Punch pretty nicely to dodge out on those skill shots, and while he has 6 deaths, he's soaked up a ton of pressure and has been layering down that crowd control for Jansu, and has still managed to stay relevant on this Galio.
Yeah, and he's gone back from being 0-6 to 1-6-6. Definitely still not the prettiest scoreline, but it shows how impactful this Galio can be in these late game team fights. Obviously, the Kassadin is going to be out damaging you, but if you can get that utility, you can get those taunts on to the main carries of Marist, that Galio is going to be just as important. Looks like another Engage potentially available. Bear Dog is going to have to flash away from the solar flare. Nice little use of the ultimate. Still a lot of cooldown reduction available, or should I say ability haste for Constantine Valdor. The ultimate's going to be up rather soon. But yeah, it looks like we're here in the 30-minute mark of the game. Gold lead is dead even. Two scouts are going to try and find out Constantine without that ultimate, as we said before, but here come the teleports. It's going to be Argentine coming into the fight. Heart X is already at half HP. The Undertow, the Unstoppable Onslaught, the Zenith Blade is all there. They're locking down the Cassidon and taking him out. One kill all ready for the Jumbos. Soft Bandit and Wheels are going to have to try and carry this fight for Marist. They're going to lock up the Nautilus, take him down. Soft Bandit is now on the run. 2 straight kills going over to the Jumbos. I cracked my voice there, but it's still Tufts taking the win, taking the Baron.
Yeah, and that was a really well executed fight from Tufts, you know, getting the Leona to lock down the Cassid and having that easy life to not let anyone in.
Oh, so much damage there onto Croissant Bandit. He ends up falling though. Constantine will die in return, but Wheels is the next target. Easy Life will pick him up. Bear Dog trying to get one back onto the 80 carry, but no, a double kill going over to Jansu. 5-10.
Jansu getting that off one turret kill. You know, I'm kind of confused because I thought the TFT development team got out that GA Aphelios interaction. Sorry, that's just a TFT joke.
Unfortunately for Marist, it was not the case. We're not in TFT. We're on Summoner's Rift. It's going to be Tufts picking up that Baron buff. 4,000 gold lead swinging into their direction.
Yeah, Tufts really playing well in this late game, executing fights super well, making sure Jansu is always safe. You know, Leona, like I said, is locking down that Cassidon so well, tracking him with that Zenith Blade, and while that ulti has a really low cool on the Cassidon, so does the crowd control from Leona, and Easy Life, again, having 6 deaths to his name, but, you know, zoning off Marist from trying to help out that Cassidon, and they're just able to get so much damage with that 4-item Aphelios.
Adi, if I were to tell you that at the 32-minute mark in this game, Easy Life would be the mid laner that has a bounty, I doubt you would have believed me, but that is the case here. Easy Life's Galio with that 150 gold bounty on his name. Even though he did have a bit of a struggle in the early game, definitely turning it around here for his team, putting in the work that Tufts needs to try and take this game 1.
Yeah, and I think this is a pick that we've seen him on 3 times already in the second match, and it's been going really well for him because even if he gets behind, he has the ability to apply that CC and, you know, help out on those fights.
Look at that turret damage. Just the turret takes out about 40% of Bear Dog's HP, and another one coming out there. And this Aphelios is definitely super scary. It's going to be up to Heart and the rest of Marist to try and dive on to this carry to prevent those 200 years from occurring. Dragon is spawning in 40 seconds. Now Soul Point going over to the Jumbos. They're now kind of in the driver's seat here. They want to make sure that they secure this soul. It's going to help them get the win with the Baron buff. The additional stats will still be there as well. And they have the inner working here.
Yeah, and I've been talking about this all game. Even when Tufts was behind, every single time there was that objective up, the entire jungle was just red. The entire river was just red. And now that they have the lead, it is no different. They are at Soul Point, and the entire jungle and river is dark for the side of Marist.
Heart looks like he might be going for a bit of a flank. Dragon has spawned, but it's not going to be taken down just yet, as it looks like a fight might be erupting first. There's going to be 2 scouts and Heart on the other side of the map.
Oh, but the Cassidon.
Yep, for Marist. Daisy's going to get instantly taken down, though, and without that easy ultimate available for the Marist team, Tufts are going to start this Dragon up. Heart has the damage available. Red team's going to secure it. And now here comes the fight. Jansu is going to get taken down pretty low. Going to have the GA to save his life for now. 2 scouts is the first victim, and Croissant Bandit is next. Easy Life now on a killing spree. He's going to continue to go down onto Bear Dog and Wheels. Jansu is godlike. He has so much damage from that flamethrower and more with the ghost. He's going to chase down the Cassidon in level 16, but no health. And that is 4 dead in a row for the Jumbos. They're going to look for the final kill. It's going to be Bear Dog. It's going to be Argentine picking that one up. An ace so far for Tufts. They're going to march down bottom lane to try and end this game.
Yeah, with the ace and the soul picked up for Tufts, it seems like they're really close to closing out this game. We have Morn taking down those towers in the mid, but it seems like he's going to try to join his team on the bot side and get that push down.
The death timers are rather short so far. It's not super early in this game, but it looks like a Bow Special is available for Argentine. He's gonna get a huge chunk on both of the towers as they instantly fall. The Nexus is open, but 3 members of Marist are here. The ultimatum's gonna try and buy some time, but not enough. The Nexus is down, and Tufts takes game 1.
Yeah, it looks like Arch Import just one-shot both Nexus towers.
The rank 3
Okay.
ultimate is crazy, especially since he had that serrated Dirk in his inventory, providing that extra lethality. Just does so much damage, and it ended up taking down so much of the turrets, and alongside the demolish available on the Scion, stacking so much health, takes down the turrets instantly and wins Tufts the game.
Yeah, the 200 years from Jiansu doing so much in those fights. Just watching the phase rush with the red Q, dishing out all that flamethrower damage, watching him dance around the entire team. It was just, whew, it's beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful is only one way to put it. And that's Tufts taking the first game of this series. Once again, we saw that Marist kind of had that advantage in the early game, and Tufts managed to turn it around. Only thing, though, is it's pretty eerily similar to what happened yesterday against NYU. The only question now is how can Marist kind of adjust in game 2 of this draft? How can Tufts make sure that they don't get a repeat of what happened yesterday? We're going to see if either of those questions can be answered after this. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with game 2 of the draft. Welcome back, everyone. We're here with Game 2 at the Collegiate Star League of Legends Invitational Tournament. I am Andrew Howe, joined here by Adi Parikh. After that intense Game 1, left Tufts University with a victory. Now it's going to be up to Marist College to try and come back with the reverse sweep as we start up Game 2 of the draft.
Yeah, Tussa is on blue side now, taking out the Rel and Shen, and the Samira Galio banned away from Marist. I liked the Galio ban, because if their plan is to try to, snowball the mid lane and try to pick off Easy Life early, keeping him on that Galio means he'll still be relevant as we go into the late game, like we saw right there. And Tufts with the first pick of Helios with the Kaisa ban. Very interesting. You know, taking away that Kaisa and locking up the Aphelios as Jiansu is obviously very proficient on that Aphelios, and the Jin is hovered from side of Marist to potentially address that.
Yep, that's going to be John Su picking up the Aphelios in the first phase of this draft. As you said, Adi Kaisa bad means Aphelios pick. Jin will be the response here for Marist.
Yeah, and Jin is one of those champions who came into the preseason as really strong. I remember in the interview with Jian back before the break, after the first CSL game in the preseason, he was saying Jin is absolutely broken with the Eclipse and the Collector combination, and now they elect for the Gale Force with the Collector a little more as Eclipse has been nerfed a ton, but it's still a very strong pick, and while other ADCs like Aphelios and Kai'Sa have risen to the top, Jhin is still a very good one. And with the Leona that Constantine Valador piloted last game, should have a very threatening bot lane.
Looks like Tufts going to go with what was working for them in that game one. Olaf going to be the response here on this B2 pick, making those Aphelios and Olaf the two champions that we saw from Tufts in game one. Going to be locked in once again. Lulu Hover would be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think Lulu is also one of those champions that is really broken right now. She was strong before, like Moonstaff was like widely recognized as a really broken interaction,
And
and
there goes.
with the Moonstaff, she is still very broken. And if she can, buff up the Aphelios, that Aphelios can definitely be a force to be reckoned with.
And the most interesting thing about this Lulu lock-in, Audi, is its flex potential. Lulu can go into any of the available three positions of top, mid, and support. And it's going to be really interesting to see how Tufts kind of moves this guy around as we get later into the draft. Vladimir is going to be the answer for Marist as we end the first phase of the draft.
Yeah, I think, like you're saying, the fact that Lulu can be flexed meant that Marist was considering that Morgana ban, but instead they opt for the Orianna, a pick that Easy Life was playing in yesterday in game 2.
Oriana will be taken off the table. Easy Life will not be able to get that champion now. Galio and Oriana taken off the table for Easy Life. Ari is a champion that I know he's comfortable on still. Not as strong as these other two power picks, but definitely still on the table here for Easy Life. Not going to be banned out as easily as you might think. Rek'Sai is going to be hovered and locked in for the ban as a response.
Yeah, and with the composition they have picked so far, assuming this Lulu does end up in the support role, I would like to see like some more like support utility mid laners like the Galio picked up for Easy Life here to try to help this Aphelios Lulu combo really thrive. And like we were saying yesterday with the Yumi Aphelios, Lulu can also buff up that Olaf if the Olaf gets super fed.
Pantheon going to be the final ban here for Marist, as it's going to be up to Tufts to try and figure out where they're going to send that Lulu. As you said before, Vladimir definitely most likely going to be going towards that middle lane. Rek'Sai has been the first ban in the second phase for Tufts. It wouldn't be a surprise to see another jungle ban, maybe the Ivern or the Skarner, but instead, Cassidy going to be taken off the table, preventing Hart from getting that champion.
Yeah, and I think that's the respect from Tufts, saying Vladimir can theoretically go top lane. And actually, we're getting confirmation that that was instead a Lilia ban.
Okay, interesting. So instead of the Cassidy, it's going to be the Lilia. Yep, it definitely makes sense. Hart played the Cassidy, but the Vladimir has already been locked in. But with that Lilia taken away, it looks like instead another target towards the junglers. But now Kled going to be locked in on the side of Marist.
Oh, that's very interesting. They're picking the top lane blind here, allowing for them to get counterpicked here on that top, and kind of suggesting that that's going to be Vladimir mid and Kled top. Opening Tufts up to two potential counter picks because the last pick for Marist is probably going to be that jungle, and jungle's already been picked up for Tufts.
Victor going to be locked in here for Easy life. Also, Argentine import could be flexing that top as well. So we still don't really know where any of these champions could be going. Could be a whole range of possibilities. I think the most obvious answer would be Lulu going towards that bottom lane to match with the Aphelios. But I wouldn't be surprised if another one of these solo laners ended up picking it up. We're gonna see what the final pick is in just a second. It's gonna be Sion sending Victor mid, Sion top, and Lulu down to the support role.
Yeah, and Victor is one of those champions that doesn't isn't like one of those support isn't like so much supporting, isn't so much peeling the Aphelios, but just like doing damage by himself, and is again one of those champions that has risen up in season 11. Due to the item rework, he no longer has his special passive item that he can upgrade to get his abilities, and instead he gets stacks from killing minions and champions that allows him to upgrade his abilities, and he's definitely been very strong. I think we've seen Argentine import pilot the Victor once in a CSL game, and I very excited to see this mid lane matchup.
Yep, the draft has been finalized with an Amumu pickup here for Bear Dog. Definitely not a champion that we've seen in a while. Obviously, when Sunfire and the rest of those items were super OP, Amumu was on the top of the priority board. Kinda has fallen off though as we've progressed into season 11. Will be interesting to see how Bear Dog deals with these new tank item changes as we head into the draft here on the main client.
Yeah, and with Mumu coming in against the Olaf, Olaf definitely has the advantage early, just being able to, you know, win the skirmishes against that and Mumu, and try to push that farm advantage with Prio in the lanes. But Mumu late game in those team fights, getting that extra 10% true damage for Vladimir, and applying that crowd control that could be easily layered with the Leona to, you know, lead to a very devastating wombo combo team fight.
Yeah, definitely can be pretty scary. And again, I think Tufts picks up a very similar team composition that they had in game one. Instead of the Galley, it was going to be the Victor here for Easy Life. Definitely a bit different than the Galley, obviously, but the rest of the team is rather similar. Lulu instead of the Leona will be another deviation, but you have the core of the Aphelios, Olaf, and Sion, who were basically the champions that carried the Tufts through that game one.
Yeah, and I really like the Victor pick here. Hopefully, the Victor won't be targeted nearly as much as he was in game one, or I guess when Easy Life was on Galio, and there will be a second threat to dish out a ton of damage in those team fights because if Victor can, be allowed to scale up, get those stacks, get the AP, his EQR can like do a ton of damage in a team fight.
Certainly so. And that Victor will definitely be a bit of a different pickup here for Easy Life. And this has kind of been the topic of conversation for the Jumbos as we headed into the second half of the CSL split. That lane swap between Argentine Import and Easy Life. Victor, definitely a more mechanically difficult champion than Galio, but I think Easy Life being that mid lane main that we so often see is going to be pretty comfortable on this champion. I would have to say, I would have to imagine.
Yeah. Uh, I haven't had a ton of experience playing Vladimir, so I'm not really sure how this matchup goes. I'm assuming that they're both kind of fine scaling up. The Vladimir and the Victor don't really have a ton of pressure in lane against each other. Victor is has the ability to harass a little bit with the Q autos and the shields, but I'm assuming it should be a relatively passive lane.
Yep, and that's kind of what Tusk wants to do here. There's no Kassadin available for Marist here in this game, which means that it's going to be more of a less of scaling comp here for Marist. Obviously, you have champions like the Vladimir, like the Jin, Amumu, even Kled that kind of wants to get into the later stage of the game, but there's no ticking time bomb that Tufts really has to watch out for here as we continue to look forward here into this game too. Tufts is going to try and go for the sweep on to Marist College here. Game two will be on in just a few minutes. We're going to take a short break. We'll see you on Summer's Rift. Hello everybody, welcome back to Game 2 action here in the Collegiate Star League. We got Tufts University here on the blue side and Marist College on the red side. I'm Andrew Howe, joined by Adi Palparik, excited for this Game 2.
Yeah, and off the bat, first thing I noticed, the calls start from the Jhin. Jhin is one of those champions who's actually had a bit of variety on starting items. He sometimes goes Doran's Blade, but also sometimes goes those boots, and I guess now we have the calls start from the Jhin. So maybe indicating that he wants more of a farm lane, try to get that easy 450 gold in his pocket, sell that call for an extra like 180, and try to get a lead that way.
Adi, you said the first thing you noticed was the call. The first thing I noticed was Hardex has Ignite Ghost here in the middle
Oh
lane.
yeah.
A little bit of a different, untraditional starting summoner spells here for that Vladimir. Gonna be a very aggressive lane, it seems like.
Yeah, I've actually played a lot. I'm doing with a lot of Vladimir mains, and they like to go a whole variety different things of summoners. Yeah, I've seen like TP Ghost, TP Ignite, Ignite Ghost. You know, all the different combinations. Sometimes having flash, sometimes not. I think it's just like the kind of play style that you have with the Vladimir, and if you want to have that like major late team fight presence, the Ignite Ghost is definitely very good. But at the same time, he is going to be all that more vulnerable to potentially Olaf ganks. Maybe the fact that Ghost on a lower CD, pair it with the pool to get out of those ganks. But if I was Morn, I would definitely at least look towards that.
Morn starting on his red buff, and it's going to be Bear Dog going for the Raptors down to his Krug's. Going to potentially look for a back after that, or maybe a top lane gank. But it's going to be... He has been spotted out there by that ward that was placed by the Jumbos earlier, which means that Tufts kind of knows where he is. Argentine Import definitely going to have to be a little bit more careful now on the Scion, as he knows that the jungler is now topside.
Yeah, and Mumu has that AoE damage for the easy red side clear, allowing to get a little more of that full clear, get towards that level 6 where he has that more gank potential.
Yep, has level 3, and it looks like Baradog is just going to take the recall. You would see this often when you had the Hunter's Machete or the Hunter's Talisman, and you would go clear your top side back, get the other one. But now that that's not really available, it's just going to be Baradog picking up the boots and then an extra control ward. So a little bit of a difference here in the clears in the early game for Baradog's Amumu, as he just kind of wants to get around the map a little faster, it seems like, with his boots.
Yeah, and I really like boots on junglers. I mean, obviously just gives that more mobility, allows you to support around a little more, and once he hits level 6, could potentially lead to some pretty good gank presence.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll see how Bear Dog kind of ends up clearing his camps out. It looks like he's going to go for a bit of a full clear. Going to make sure that he gets to his Rift Scuttler in time before he ends up going for any of those additional camps. But it looks like it's just going to be a trade of the Scuttlers on either side of the map. Morn is going to pick his up, get that level 4. Bear Dog will get there in just a couple of minutes.
And Olaf starting on that counter jungling, given the fact that, you know, his top lane is pushed all the way in and mid lane is pretty even, means he has the ability to kind of go into the enemy jungle and steal away some of those camps.
Yep, actually dismounts Croissant Bandit in the top side. Morn is here to make sure that there's no re-engage. We'll let Argentine Import get off that free recall.
Other than that, bot lane seems to be relatively timid. Looks like there are some pings going down as Aphelios walks down, and 2 scouts goes in.
Yeah, 2 scouts does go in, and Bear Dog is here as well. Gonna do a nice use of the Aphelios guns to try and stun them up. He's gonna have to use both of his summoners to get out safely. But here comes Argentine Import on the teleport. Bear Dog is super low. Gonna get healed up by Wheels. But the Decimating Smash is going to do a lot of damage. First blood from the final auto attack from Jansu for the Jumbos. It looked like a really nice play from Marist, but a nice use of the teleport ability. Morn's going to help clear out that top side, and Argentine Import helps out with the kill in the bottom lane.
Yeah, it was really good to engage in the beginning. You know, 2 scouts timing that engage before Mumu walked over that ward so that they could try to lock down the Lulu, but they kept going on to the Lulu even after she had flashed away, and that made Amumu go in really deep, and the really good TP from the Scion allowed them to turn that and get first blood onto that Aphelios.
Yeah, even though Jansu is down about 18 CS here, he has that Moon Quiver already. And so getting that early item, getting with that first blood kill, gonna be super important. But taking a look at all of the lanes here, Marist has a significant CS lead in top, mid, and bot. And that's why, despite being down that first blood, they're up in gold.
Yeah, but one thing to talk about is because Mumu died in the bot lane, Olaf has been farming it up, you know, up about 2 to 3 camps, you know, keeping on that clear. Olaf has a pretty decent clear, can, you know, throw those axes through the camps, uses passive and W to get a lot of DPS and sustain, and let's see how this Olaf decides to use his farm lead.
Beardog is back in the bottom side, but a nice use of the fancy footwork from Constantine Valador. Gonna pop the laugh just for a little bit of BM, and that is both the Bandage Toss and the Zenith Blade being dodged away from by the Lulu.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't really like this play from Beardog. He just come earlier, and his only CC is the Bandage Toss, and if Leona is not able to get on early, it's really hard for Mumu to layer that CC on, especially when they're so far back, and it does allow them to get the dragon, but I would prefer for him to wait till level 6.
Argentine trying to go for a bait, gonna try and dismount Croissant Bandit in just a little bit. Finally does so, and Morn is here as well with the Ragnarok. Gonna build up the courage rather quick, but right before Scarl comes running back to Bandit, he goes down. In response, though, Marist picks up the dragon, but Argentine import now with a significant lead in the top side.
Yeah, good job from Morn, you know, seeing that Argentine import is a little low and the Kled's playing aggressive and following up and getting that kill onto the dismounted Kled.
Yeah, and he went for that, a bit of a proxy there, and seeing that Beardog was bottom lane. And while Croissant Bandit went for that long extended trade onto Argentine, not only did he not get that kill, he lost out on the entire wave that crashed into the tower. It looks like Jansu's going to get caught out here as well. No escape for the Aphelios. 2 Seats is going to secure the kill for Marist. And now Constantine is in a bit of a tough situation, but now he has a bit of the damage. The Zenith Blade will miss. Deadly Flourish will be dodged away from as well. Constantine is fighting a 1v2 in the support and ends up chunking them out very low. Here comes Morn, trying to come in through the river. Doesn't have the Ragnarok, but he has the Ghost. Going to use it right now. Going to force the flash out of Wheels already. And it looks like they're going to go under the tower. A 2-man Undertow will not secure any kills for Morn. Ends up taking one too many tower shots, getting it down significantly low. He'll be able to heal that up very soon, though. And a nice job from Constantine Valador. Even though Jansu managed to didn't manage to live in that engage, it was not a decent exchange there from Constantine to keep him alive. Easy Life is getting dove under the tower as well, though. The Ignite is taking, but not enough damage. Constantine also very low due to the curtain call. So much is going on all sides of the map, but not any kills are going to anybody here in this game too.
Yeah, good job from Constantine and Warren trying to pressure the bot lane, allow for a good recall timing from that Aphelios. Well, I guess death timing for the Aphelios, but now Aphelios gets to do that damage onto the tower and get those extra waves. Nice and farm to the Jhin, but honestly, I think the Aphelios is playing a little too aggressive there. It seemed like they've been sacking a lot of farm early, and the Relic Shield instead of the Spell Thieves from Lulu indicated that they wanted to play, you know, a little safe into Leona Jhin, but Jhin was like kind of standing in the wave well inside that E range from Leona, and you know, I would like to see a little more respect into the Jhin Leona lane.
Take a look at Morn CS, 81, make it 83 right now. Second most in the game, most on his team, and he has been just picking up so much CS. He had that whole waves to clear in the top side as Argentine import went down to that bottom lane gank to pick up first blood, and he's been counter jungling Beardogs so extensively. He's now up 1,000 gold off of mostly just farm on this Olaf and 2 levels to boot.
Yeah, and this is kind of what I was saying earlier. Like, yeah, I mean, we could try to go for those ganks and they get the dragon, but overall they just like set him so far behind because without the level 6, his gank success rate goes down like a ton. And Olaf is just able to keep farming, apply pressure in the top lane, counter jungle, and he is so far ahead now. Like, even if that Amumu gets the ulti down, the Ragnarok should be able to do a ton of damage in these fights. And Velios with the red-white gun.
You can't dodge away from the stun, though. That's going to be Bear Dog locking up Johnson. He had a lot of damage, but not enough to take down 3 tanky members of Marist. 2, actually. I mean, Wheel's not super tanky. Anyway, either way, he goes down, evening up the kills at 2-2. Tufts still in the gold lead, though, at about 400.
Yeah, I think that was a little too aggressive again from this bot lane. They had no idea where the enemy jungle was, and unluckily for them, he was right there. And so while they were able to turn that fight, use the red and white guns to dish out a ton of DPS as the counter engage to the Leona, there just wasn't enough damage to kill the Jhin right before the Mumu came in.
Rift Herald also going to be started up by the Jumbos. Morn is going to try and take that down. Bear Dog was in the area relatively, but not close enough to try and contest. Another objective going over to Morn and Tufts, and Morn now has the most CS in the game at 106.
Yeah, and one thing to look out for though is the Proto Belt finished for the Vladimir. The extra burst damage that this applies means that Easy Life definitely has to be a little afraid matching up in this mid lane, and this Vladimir is ahead a lot of gold with only the Lost Chapter and Amp Tome the opposing inventory as Mumu starts walking down towards his bot lane, but he finds more in there.
Yep, it's going to be a 3v3 in the bot side. Wild Growth already onto Jansu, but he's been locked up for so long, he can't pivot any damage if you're stunned. But he's going to get traded back for 2 scouts. Constantine goes down as well, and now Morn is in a 1v4. All 5 members of Marist have gone down to this bottom side. Morn ends up taking down 1, getting a kill onto Bear Dog, but not before falling. That's a shutdown. Hart picks it up, his second of the game, and they're looking for Dragon.
Yeah, like I said, this Protobell Vladimir is very scary, but great job from Morn, picking up 2 kills there, making that a 3 for 2, and that was 5 members there in the bot lane. Good rotation from Marist, but honestly, I feel like Tufts isn't too sad with the outcome of that. Archimper gets to run back into the top lane, get some farm, get some damage on that turret. Easy Life gets a little more time just to sit up and scale, get closer to those stacks. He has about 94 stacks right now, and 6 more he'll be able to get that E upgrade and get a ton of wave clear, really forcing this Vladimir to either risk losing a lot of minions in the mid lane or match that wave clear.
A little bit of a different story from game 1. Jansu, who was the hard carry for the Jumbos in that first game, now sitting at 1-3-1, down a significant amount of gold. Actually, no, he's actually even in gold. Forget I said anything. But it's going to be Easy Life getting caught out here in the middle lane. 2 scouts is here as well. But there's going to be the Rift Herald popped in the top lane as well. Morn and Argentine Import are going in under the tower. Argentine's going to end up dying. But will it be enough? Morn has the Gore Drinker, has the Ragnarok. But Croissant Bandit is now dismounted. The turret's not even going to go down. 2 straight kills going over to Marist. And that was not the play you were looking for.
Yeah, a really good attempt from Tufts. But they kind of messed it up towards the end. The last axe from Olaf barely missing the Mumu, the Triumph, Frock, and Conqueror keeping him alive, and the remount from the Kled allowed them to turn that for another 2 kills. Yeah, that was just a unlucky player from Tufts. They lost the 2v2 that I think they should have won, and because Olaf isn't able to exert his lead, it might be really tough for Tufts to, play out this game. Nonetheless, the gold is relatively even. Victor and Aphelios are scaling up. The Olaf is very strong, so we'll see if Argentina Port can chase down this Kled really quickly.
Yep, gonna try and go on to him. He has the dismount available. Gonna be flashed away from by Croissant Bandit, but doesn't really matter for now. If you take a look at the analysis there of that trade in the top side, you do get the Rift Herald chunk for 2 plates, but you lost 2 members, including that shutdown onto Morn. So it's basically 1 kill, about 320 gold of turret plates versus 750. Now that Argentine Import picks up the tower due to the Rift Herald, might be a little bit more worth it, but you still obviously didn't want to lose those 2.
Yeah, and honestly, what I want from Tufts is for them to start tracking the members a little more. Like, Easy Life and Constantine Valdor right here, but Leona and Vladimir are here to try to take him out.
Yeah, 2 scouts is right behind Constantine, but he somehow lives just for a little bit longer. No, the Hemo Plague will finish off the kill. A double kill now onto Heart. Make it 3 kills in a row for Marist, as 2 scouts will pick up easy life. Argentine Import's going to try and save Morn's life, but there's going to be so much damage available for Marist. Argentine Import is still trying to fight. He gets the kill, gets the Gore Drinker heal on to the Leona, has the Unstoppable Onslaught as well, but Hart has the pool, not going to be able to get himself out. He's going to go down. Argentine will fall, and 4 for 1 going over to Marist here. Can Argentine get the red buff? No, he does not.
But Olaf does.
Oh, he did! Stealing it with the axe. That was incredible.
Yeah, and like I was saying, again, Tufts is not doing a really good job of tracking where these members are. They're like trying to set up these plays or like walk a little aggressive, but Marist is always there. They don't know where the support is drumming, they don't know where the mid lane is, and they're not like giving the respect they should be giving to a Ghost and Ignite Vladimir, who's 4-0, who has the ability to roam, and that Hex / Leona, who is always running around trying to get those picks.
Hart is once again going to be the carry for Marist. He is on the Cassidy in game 1, didn't end up working out at the end of the day, but now he is on this Vladimir. 4-0-2, has double combat spells, he has a lot of gold. His team is up about 2k right now as we hit the 17-minute mark, and it is going to be up to him to try and help Marist even the series out at 1-1.
Yeah, and while 200 years is strong, I don't know what 200 years can do to Protobelt Medjai's Vladimir at 16 minutes.
Yeah, and Jansu is sitting at 1-4. He's been the target of a lot of members of Marist. They saw how much he could carry in game 1 if he was left untouched, and they wanted to make sure that never happened again. So much pressure onto the bottom side of the map for Marist so far, and that's how they found a lot of their leads so far. Dragon is spawning in about 20 seconds. Morn still has that level lead onto Bear Dog, and which means that he'll have the smite advantage. No flash available for Morn to try and get over the pit if Marist starts it up first, though. If Tufts wants to try and get this dragon, prevent the soul point, they're going to have to go head on.
Yeah, good job from Constantine Baldor placing that ward, sniffing out, but the Leona just gets the engage from over the wall.
Yeah, Constantine gets instantly shut down before even popping the Wild Growth. A 2-man knockup from Argentine will do a decent amount. The Chaos Storm is trying to run into the Marist team, but it is too slow for them. The red team has gotten away with another kill. Argentine Import's going to try and knock up the Vladimir. Hart doing so much damage to the Hemo Plague, the Protobelt, the Ignite. He's going to go down. Easy life falls. But Bear Dog is now in the middle of the enemy team, and he is on a Moo, not the Olaf. Morn picks it up. Moonlight Vigil will not land onto any members, but Tufts is starting to win this little scrap that's going on right now. Jansu is trying to run away from Croissant Bandit. The courage is building up. Skarl is soon to arrive. Curtain Call has opened up as well, and Heart X will pick up his 5th kill of the game. Argentine Import's going to try and run in with the passive to try and take down some members of Marist, down to some lower HP values, but it's not going to be enough just yet. Heart is just running into the entire Jumbo team as he picks up so much damage, so many kills, helps Marist stay alive here. Now in another 4v3, it's going to be Morn with the Wild Growth on him. He has a lot of healing, but not enough. He goes down to Croissant Bandit. Easy Life has rejoined the fight with the teleport, but it doesn't look like any members are really within that easy of a grasp. Can he get the final auto? But it's not enough. Onto 2 scouts, and that means that he's going to go back in. Hart ends up coming in once again. He is still alive. So much healing available for the Vladimir, and another team fight lost for Tufts, and that's going to be Marist picking up soul point here on the Infernal Dragon.
Yeah, and again, another very close fight. But again, I don't think Tufts is really respecting the Leona Vladimir. The Leona just like, whenever she wants, is able to find that solar flare onto the one of the squishy targets, like the Aphelios or the Lulu or the Victor, and the Vladimir with 20 stacks on the Medjais does so much damage.
He is definitely going to be a problem for Tufts for the remainder of this game 1. The gold lead is now 3,500, but this was a state that we saw Marist in game 1. The engage is coming in. The charge from Croissant Bandit will try and avenge the turret, and it will. Jansu falls, and Croissant Bandit picks up his 5th kill in a row as well.
And I mean, I guess they get the tower, but with Baron coming up shortly, I don't know what they were trying to do there. Looks like Hardex was going to immediately start up that Baron, but the Leona was there Kled has ulti. You know, we don't know where the Vladimir is. It seems like they were being way too aggressive for that tower.
Yeah, but now the Aphelios is dead and the Baron is under fire. Two scouts is gonna get attacked, but has a lot of health. Not enough though. Argentine import will pick up another kill here in the fight. Gonna land a nice knockup on the heart, but the healing for the Hemoplague is massive. Argentine import will fall, but how much damage can he do in the passive? And the Curtain Call combined with Heart will do so much damage. Morn will get the kill with the Gore Drinker onto Heart X, picking up a nice shutdown for himself. But two members of Marist are still alive. Make it 3 with Wheels coming back up. The Baron has been started up once again, but it looks like they're gonna peel off for now.
Yeah, and this Marist is just winning every fight off the back of this Vladimir. So much damage, getting out that damage at the beginning, doubling away to make sure he doesn't get followed up on, protect those stacks, and then he just gets to come back in as the fight is starting to turn for them.
21 minutes into this game. Tufts is now down 3,000 gold, as I was saying before the fight happened there in the mid turret. This was a position that Tufts was in last game. They had managed to pull off the comeback in that game 1. They're facing about a similar gold disadvantage. The only difference is the way that the gold is stacked here in this game. Bounties on the mid and 80 carries, once again, available for Marist College. And now it's going to be Heart X, 6-0 and 7, 1,000 gold bounty. And he is now about 3,500 gold ahead of Easy Life alone. And that is just really scary.
Yeah, I think the difference between this game and last game is Vladimir just does so much more in a team fight than Kassadin does. So much AoE damage and tankiness.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of the difference here. Vladimir scales a little bit faster, Audi, than the Kassadin did. We kind of had to wait for level 16 for the Kassadin to try and scale, and at that point, it was already a little bit too late for Marist to try and come back. But now the Vladimir is just taking over every single team fight.
Yeah, and the Olaf is very strong. The Aphelios has some gold on him, but I don't know if it's going to be enough because this Vladimir is proven to be unstoppable.
Argentine's going to try and put a stop to the unstoppable. A Heart has so much damage, and look at that healing. 550 damage, and Heart X is back at full HP. The charge has been issued onto Jansu. They're going to look to dive onto the 80 carry. The Wild Growth is going to try and cancel that crowd control, but the Bear Trap on a rope will also try and hit. Bear Dog falls under the tower, and Argentine Import is diving into the Marist bottom lane. Two scouts is being under attack. A double kill picked up for Morn, and a nice turnaround, but that's because Heart wasn't there, and here he comes. Jansu gets almost instantly deleted, and he goes down to the final tick of the Hemoplague. A double kill straight already for Heart X as Marist comes right back around, and Heart picks up 3 kills all on his own.
Yeah, and I think neither team really understanding why Marist is winning these fights. Marist tries to dive in without the Vladimir, and then Tufts keeps going through, knowing the Vladimir is coming down. And if I was either of this team, let's start with Marist, I would have A, not engaged with the Vladimir, and B, you know, maybe waited to try to chip down the tower a little more. And if I was Tufts, I would have just taken those 2 free kills that Marist gave to us, and then just backed off, knowing that the Vladimir is rotating down.
Adi, that's a death cap now onto Heart. He's now sitting at 600 AP. An Infernal Soul is on the table now for Marist, which means even more damage for this Vladimir. And he has just been a monster throughout this entire game. And now sitting here with all of this gold, all of his items, all of his damage. It's going to be super scary. As the Infernal Soul is now on the table, and Baradog's going to start the fight off with that engage onto Jansu. The Wild Growth will not be able to save the 80 carry as he picks up his 7th death of the game. It's been all about the bot lane for Tufts. Jansu had the carry in game 1, but got pressured early in this game 2, and has not had the success that we saw in the last matchup. The Dragon is already under attack and is soon to be taken down. There it is. Bear Dog picks up the Infernal Soul for Marist, and it looks like
not over just yet. 25 stack Rabadon's Vladimir. Not gonna be fun for Tufts to play against.
Yep, Easy Life is already getting taken down, getting a first-hand look at what that Infernal Soul looks like for Marist as he dies in a 1v4. The Baron is now on the table with 2 members of the Jumbos already still in base. It's going to be really hard for them to try and contest. Argentine is here, has the ultimate available, but the Baron is going to melt down pretty quickly. sitting at about 3,000 HP. It just looks like Tufts is not even going to contest. Baron Nashor goes over to Marist.
Yeah, I think just like talking about the game overall, Marist is just in such a good job of like playing around the map, getting their players around for different skirmishes, always having one more member than Tufts in different fights, and using their pick potential with the Mumu and Leona to really get this Vladimir so far ahead.
Vladimir has those 3 items. Jansu only with 1.5. And it's going to be a really tall mountain for Tufts to try and climb up to get a hold of this game and sweep the series at 2-0. Still a 6,500 gold lead for Marist. They now have the Baron buff. They now have the Soul. They're going to push down each of the top and middle lane. Argentine's going to get some damage onto this bottom tier 1, but doesn't really mean anything at this stage of the game. The siege continues here for Marist. The Solar Flare has some issues, going to hit onto 3, and Easy Life gets instantly deleted. Constantine uses the Wild Growth on himself. The support might live, but the rest of the team will not. Morn goes down. Jansu will go down very shortly as the heals, the Moonstone, along with the shields, and now Constantine is going to get hit with the Curtain Call shot 3. 4 is Jin's favorite number, but he's not even going to need it to take down the enemy's support. 3 dead in a row for the Jumbos, and it looks like Marist is going to try and run down to end this game. The inhibitor has been taken down. Argentine import has returned from the base. The death timers are not super long, but it might be enough for Marist to try to finish it off. It's going to be 10 seconds on Easy Life and 15 on Morn. Argentine is still sitting under the fountain, looking for the perfect time to engage. He might not be able to find it, though. The Nexus is already open. He's going to try and dash in now, but no, he won't. He'll just sit in base. He knows the game is over, and Marist evens out the series at 1-1.
Yeah, and I think that game, Marist just, like I said before, played so well around the map. Tufts really did not respect the fact that players were missing. They did not respect the Amumu with his Q and R potentially shadowing the bot lane. Didn't respect the Leona just running around the map, helping this Vladimir, and did not respect the Vladimir roaming down bot lane after that Proto Belt was completed and allowing for the Vladimir to snowball out the game. And I think that's really what they're gonna have to work on as they get into game 3.
Marist taking that game. They were ahead the entire time. The story of that game was, first of all, Hearts Vladimir going off insanely well, and Amumu and Bear Dog just getting a lot of pressure onto the Tufts bottom lane. It was the area where they succeeded the most in that game 1, and they suffered heavily because of it in that game 2. We're going to see if Tufts can try and come back after that game. The series is tied up at 1-1, which means game 3 will be up right after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're here for our final game here in the Collegiate Star League. Here in our final, game 3, once again, between Marist College on the blue side and Tufts University Blue on the red side. That's a bit confusing. I'm Andrew Howe, joined here by Adipal Parikh. Marist came back in an exciting game, too, after Tufts took that game 1, and the draft is already underway. Let's see what the champions are going to be taking away.
Yeah, and Marist has banned away the Galio again, which I really like. As they've shown from the last two games, their win condition is really just snowball their mid laner, and Galio is definitely a hard one to snowball against, because even if you get a little bit ahead, he has all that CC to try to lock you down, and the Jin has picked up for
Oh,
Marist, and oh, the Vladimir picked up for Tufts this time!
stealing that away.
Yeah, and the Leona as well. Looks like they might try to turn the tables on Marist a little bit.
Yeah, I remember Argentine Import had an insane Vladimir game earlier on in the CSL. But now that he's moved on to the top lane, the question is that going to be flexed up there or will Easy Life pick it up? Obviously, we still have a lot more of this draft to go. Alistar's going to get locked in for 2 scouts as the answer to Leona going over to Constantine.
Yeah, and that's just like a really good answer. Being able to be a little more defensive, have the pulverize for the engage, and the also the threat of having his own engage. And watching C9 versus TSM yesterday, we saw what Vulcan can do with that Alistar. We'll see if Maris can have a similar
Yeah.
performance.
Skarner being hovered. This is a champion that Bear Dog is super comfortable on. Played it a ton in solo queue. It's going to get locked in here for Marist. And this is a champion that hasn't been banned away, kind of has just fallen through draft throughout the first 2 games, and Marist just decides to pick it up here. Kaisa will be locked in for Tufts as the response.
Yeah, and obviously Kaisa, a really good pick. Obviously very good with Leona, being able to synergize really well with that crowd control. Has the dive ability to maybe get on that Jin, and as the game goes on, Kaisa will just like be able to 1v1 that Jin, as Jin has those 4 autos, and the Kaisa shield and invisibility just allows her to deal a lot more damage in a shorter time span than Jin can.
Aatrox and Olaf, the first 2 bans to start off this second phase. Once again, we don't really know where this Vladimir is headed. So will be interesting to see if it heads into the top lane or the mid lane. Obviously, by the time Tufts is going to have to decide that, they'll be able to see Marist's entire team composition as they are on the red side. Cassidy going to be taken away, but that means that both of the champions that Hart played in those first 2 games will be off the table. Lilia is going to be hovered for the final ban here in this final game.
Yeah, and with 3 bans taken away from Moore, I'm really interested to see what he's going to pick up. Yesterday, he decided to go for the Echo, but the Hecarim was banned, and this time it is not. So seems like Moore is going to choose to go for that Hecarim.
Yep, Hecarim, a champion that Morn has been pretty comfortable on here in the CSL, has played it a fair amount. Interesting to note that Kled was also taken off the table here for this final game, as Morn will lock in the Hecarim finally, and we'll see what Maris responds with here in these final 2 picks.
Yeah, and I really like the Hecarim here because not only is like a really aggressive jungler, he's also relatively tanky and has like the ability, like keeps the ability to flex that Vladimir a little more because
Ooh.
they don't necessarily need a lot more tankiness on their team. They can definitely have Easy Life play a little more squishy mid laner again.
Wow, the Darius being locked in here for Marist. They know that Argentine Import loves his Scion, and Darius is a great answer into that thing. The only problem with that is Scion hasn't even been locked in. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens now. Vladimir being that ranged into melee matchup in the top side definitely could be open for Argentine Import to take as Malzahar gets locked in for Marist.
Yeah, as melee champions go, Darius is probably one of the easiest ones to play into ranged because he can easily go for those Merc treads, but looks like a Morgana is being hovered. Could that potentially be Morgana mid for again that more supportive mid lane type?
Would be interesting to see it get pulled out. I'm not totally expecting it, but wow, it gets locked in. Now the only question is, where are these champions going? Morgana could technically still be flex top, has the black shield to try and get away from the slows and from the apprehend of Darius. While she is immobile, it might be an interesting matchup here. Vladimir also another champion that could be going into the top or mid lane. And I'm really surprised. I'm really excited to see how this draft kind of rounds up. We'll keep you posted as the draft gets started up in the client.
Yeah, and with all that crowd control from the side of Marist, the double suppressed comp, the Black Shield should definitely really help out. But one thing that's definitely gonna have to happen from Tufts is QSS with Skarner and Malzahar picked up. I don't see how Tufts can go without like how they can go without picking up that item.
Yeah, definitely. And this is a different playstyle that we've seen from Hart. Now playing the Malzahar a bit more of a supportive role here on this in the mid lane versus more heavy damage. Just gonna try and be there, lock down that Kaisa. We see on the client, I know it's not typically visible for you guys on stream, but that Vladimir has been locked in for Argentine import, which means that he'll be taking the top lane to match up against Croissant Bandits Darius, and Easy Life will be playing the Morgana in the mid lane. And the Morgana is also good into the Malzahar champions that wants to shove every wave out and then kind of go into the side lanes and interfere with the affairs in those lanes. But with Morgana having the pool, gonna have a lot of ease trying to clear these waves out as well. I'm interested to see what build she goes for though. Whether she goes for more of a damage build with the Leandries or decides to maybe even go for that Moonstaff that we've been talking about. Draft is being finished up here. And confirming this, Leona not going mid, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be Morgana in the middle lane for Easy Life. Constantine Valdor will be taking that Leona for the second time this series.
Yeah, and one more thing I want to point out about this Morgana pick, because the Morgana is in the mid lane now, what it kind of counteract a lot of the strategy that Maris has been playing this entire time, which is send that support in jungle mid to try to put Easy Life behind and snowball the mid lane. But with the Black Shield on the Morgana, it might be really hard for that Alistair to find those engages.
Yeah, there's a lot of engaged composition available here for Maris. They have the Alistar, they have the Skarner, they even have the Darius and the Malzahar as well. So uh, it's just gonna be a really interesting scenario here. Morgana does a good job at the counter engage once again, as you said, Adi, with the Black Shield. But Morn and Jansu are also two champions that like to go in. Vladimir is kind of a champion that can do both. Leona also a bit more flexible there. We're gonna see some big team fights I'm expecting here in this game.
Yeah, for sure. For like targeting the early game again, I really like that Tusk has chosen two very hard to gank lanes. Morgana and Vladimir are kind of lanes that like use use the pool and the spell shield to evade ganks. And while I said that Darius can play really well into ranged matchups to get that Merc treads locked down with the E and W, dish out a ton of damage before they can kite away. Vladimir has the pool, which means that he can counteract a lot of that engage from Darius.
Yep, the pool definitely going to be important for Argentine import to help get up safely. I'm expecting the ghost available for Croissant Bandit in this game going to help get onto Argentine as well. It's going to be interesting to see how this Vladimir matches up into the Darius. Has some kind of pseudo mobility, I guess you could say, with the pool. Not all too much available, but she is that ranged champion. So unless Croissant Bandit can like really get onto him, gonna be hard for him to kill. We're gonna take a short break. We got game 3 action. This again is the decider. Tusk needs this to stay in the playoff hunt. We'll see what happens after this short break. See you on Summoner's Rift. Welcome back, everybody. We got our final matchup here between Marist College and Tufts University Blue. Once again, I am Andrew Howe, joined here by Adi Palparik. We got an exciting matchup here. Once again, Tufts needs this win to make it to keep their hopes alive for the playoffs, and I'm really excited to see if they can do it here.
Yeah, and both teams not opting for any shenanigans. They both go for the 5-point. Making sure the other team is, playing a clean early game. No invades. In terms of summoners, we have the normal TP Flash from Argentine Import. Not going for anything too flashy. The bot lane for Marist decided to go Cleanse Ignite instead of Cleanse Heal or Heal Ignite, which means that they're not going to have as much of like heal advantage as Tufts has, but they'll have a little more aggression and be able to cleanse sway some of that Ignite and CC.
Looks like both of the junglers will be starting on their red buff for this final game of this series. Once again, the series is tied up at 1-1. Tufts is on the red side, Marist is on the blue side, and we are here. The game has started, the buffs have been cleared, and it looks like right now Argentine Import going for a bit of a leash on Timorn's red buff, which means that he's going to be late to lane against this very scary Darius.
Yeah, and looks like they're both opting to go for the Krugs next. Probably go for a little more of a full clear. Maybe indicating that Warren will look for a gank as he ends up in the bot side, but we'll see how this ends up. There's potential for also a top or mid gank from top side as he gets level 3 off of these Raptors.
Yep, and it looks like a stun already onto Constantine Valdo. The Ignite's ticking Jansu with the Halo Blades, with the Plasma. So much damage issued onto the Marist support to start this game off.
Yeah, I don't really know what the Alistar is doing there. Just walking in melee range to Leona with stacks already on from Jansu's Kaisa. The Halo Blades Kaisa able to apply those stacks so fast and really do a lot of quick damage.
Yeah, and that's already a crucial summoner spell. The flash on the Alistar ult, obviously, super important. Interesting to note that 2 Scouts ends up going for the Aftershock instead of the Phase Rush that we've been seeing rather recently. Croissant Bandit, obviously, as that Darius is going to get that early push into the tower. It misses the Apprehend. Not going to be too upset about it, though. He's going to go down and try and get a ward off here in the top side. Not going for that Cheater Recall as his third waves under the tower, but instead just going to stick around and try to harass him more.
Yeah, and I kind of like the Aftershock choice from the Alistar because it allows him to, use the Pulverize in response to Leona engage to get a little bit more tanky and survive some of that Kaisa burst. Because without it, he's going to be very squishy.
Man, I really like this Phase Rush going in from Argentine Import. This really prevents any sort of engage from Croissant Bandit, because if he tries to go in for a pull, he has enough movement speed to just get out rather safely here. Croissant Bandit getting a nice little bit of heal there, but this is not as dominant as you would want a Darius matchup to go early on in this game. It's 4 minutes in. Morn is actually going to get counter jungled a little bit as Beardog heads over into the enemy Krugs, but it looks like the Hecarim is going to try and make a gank down here in the bot side.
Skarn is pinging towards mid. Easy Life is really far up, but with that Black Shield, I don't think she should be in too much harm. And
Yep,
there is the Black Shield and a little more damage with the binding on the backside of that.
Interesting thing to note about this Morgana and Malzahar matchup as well. It is so easy to proc that shield off of the Malzahar passive. Just putting a little pool down in that middle lane will prevent any spell shield from lasting super long onto Heart, which means that easy bindings and easy crowd control can be underway onto Heart here in this matchup.
Another one of the reasons why I think that's such an intelligent pick from the side of Tufts. Not only does it allow him to play aggressive without fear of getting that really deep gank from Skarner, but also really pressure that Malzahar.
5 minutes have passed in this game, and gold is very, very even right now. Literally exactly the same almost. The ticking up on the every 100 mark is nearly identical as well. We're in for a pretty good game if it holds true here.
Yeah, and without the Merc Treads, Darius is kind of just forced to play a little safe. Farm is relatively even top lane as Vladimir can like harass, but not really push you off the wave too much early. So as Vladimir takes his first recall, we'll see what the two top laners are going to start to come back with.
Easy Life going for the Comet in the middle lane instead of the Summon Airy might make you think a little bit more that will be going for some more of the damage build. Not super impactful, obviously. But I mean, sorry, that doesn't mean too much, obviously. Both builds are certainly going to be really good. Just a difference in playstyle here. Last chapter going to be picked up from Heart. He gets the early recall, and he's going to walk back to base. Still has teleport available as the dragon starts spawning.
Nice sidestep from the Jhin there, dodging out on the Leone E. With the massive wave and Kaisa posed to jump onto that Jhin. That could have been very devastating for the Marist bot lane.
Looks like Morn will have first sights on to the Infernal Dragon here to start this one off. But Beardog is not too far behind. He's still around, going to try and face check this, make sure and see that Morn is here on the objective. And he's just going to get his way on out of there and allow Beardog to try and start this objective up, it seems.
Yeah, flashes back up for the Alistar. They weren't really able to capitalize too much on that. There was a bit of a farm lead, so they were like able to keep up the pressure, but it seems like Marist is starting the Dragon.
Yep, Dragon is being taken already for Morn. For Marist. Flash away from Jansu from the Deadly Flourish, but now there's 4 members in the bottom lane for Marist. Teleport's going to come in from Easy Life and Argentine import. First blood going over to the Jumbos already. Heart X is going to get hit with the Onslaught of Shadows and taken down. And a nice pull from Argentine to keep himself alive. And a nice play re-engaging here for Tufts. They're looking for more though. The Zenith Blade is going to get flashed away from him, but Morn is hungry and looking for blood. He pops the Ghost, maybe a little bit too preemptively though. They lose the Dragon, but they get 2 kills. They're going to get a bunch of turret plates here on the bottom side as well. Tufts coming out with the team fight win.
Yeah, and this time it was Marist not really respecting the where the people from Tufts were, you know. Hecarim was counter jungling in the bot lane when they decided to go for that play, and Vladimir had the TP to help out. Warren trying to go for a little greedy invade, gets pushed out, and Darius gets a couple plates in the top lane, but with the double finished Codex from Vladimir, he's gonna come back.
Yeah, that's weird. It's an interesting build. I guess it builds into a lot of different things.
Yeah, and I think he does actually get the abilities for both.
They stack. That's a very intelligent buy. Definitely gonna delay the item, delay his mythic item completion a little bit. But this is something that Vladimir's did as well before the item reworks. They would go for what they would call the CDR garage sale, get a bunch of items that would give you crowd control, whether it be cooldown reduction, whether it be Fiendish Codex or the Kindle Gem or the Lucidity Boots. Now instead opting for the double Fiendish Codex as the passes do not stack anymore, and that means that yeah, it's a very similar play going out from Argentine import. He just wants as much ability haste as possible.
Yeah, and with the CS differences in the mid and falling counteracting each other, Tufts is coming up with about a 1k gold lead, playing this early game really well. It is it's like important to note that the teleport is now down for the top and mid laner for Tufts, but the Ghost is still there for Darius.
Nice use of Q. Try and chunk out Argentine. Now at about half HP, and Paradox is here as well. Can he get the Impale? The pool is going to actually delay the ultimate for a little bit, and with the tower shots raining down onto the Marist members, Argentine picks up a solo kill under the tower, a solo bolo for the South American.
Yeah, and I think they really overestimated how tanky they were there, and Tufts is going to answer with a play in the mid lane.
He gets a kill on to Heart, but take a look at the top side. Bear Dog tried to go back in, and Argentine picks up another kill, 3-0 on the Vladimir as he outplays the heck out of Marist with the 1v2.
Yeah, and this is really just Tufts playing the exact same way as Marist did last time, you know, putting the pressure on the Vladimir. The Vladimir is, outplaying the top and jungler, and while he's in the top lane, Tufts is putting that pressure on the mid lane, getting that Leona and Hecarim to get onto that Malzahar. Use the fact that Morgana permanently takes down that shield to uh, expose the vulnerability, and now Tufts is up about 2k gold with a 3-0 Vladimir.
Yeah, and this draft worked out perfectly for the Jumbos. It seems like they're now up 2,500 gold. The Vladimir has been popping off here in the Darius lane, gonna negate that early power that this top laner is supposed to bring for you. And now that Argentine is so far ahead, they still have this Morgana mid, double support to help out John Sue's Kaisa. They're gonna go for another pick onto Beardog as they spotted him out with the ward. Then it's played in, no Solar Flare available though. They hit the W, but it doesn't look like Jansu is going to try and go in just yet. But there's the Impale already onto Constantine. Going to get locked up with the Deadly Flourish as well. Curtain Call opens up. This is becoming a bigger fight than I anticipated. Beardog's getting locked up, so the Solar Flare finally comes back up. Final shot from the Curtain Call. Killer Instinct from Jansu will take down Beardog, but Heart will take one down in return with the Nether Grass. 1-for-1 overall. Tufts manages to pick up a kill in a crazy situation there, as the gold is still about 2,500 in their favor.
Yeah, I don't really know what Beardog was trying to go for there. Like, I guess they get the pick in the end, but he was sitting in that bush while his bot lane was still like halfway up the lane. They weren't anywhere close to him during the beginning of that, and Constantine, Valdor, and Jansu playing that really well, and that drew the Darius down, which means Argentine Import has 3 plates on that top lane. Already has about 6 CS lead and 3 kills, and I'm not exactly sure what he's itemizing for, but he has 2 Fiendish Codexes and a large rod, which means he's probably just trying to finish those components, which are slightly more gold efficient than some of the items.
Oh, Morin, you shouldn't have gone in there. The dragon was already down. He goes down to the Nazian Guillotine, and now the resets are here. So much damage from the hemorrhages so far. Jansu is going to be able to get a good amount of damage there combined with the stuns. But now it's hard getting caught out by Easy Life. The shackles are in, but he's going to have to flash away. 2 scouts and Beardog are going to look for this Morgana. No Black Shield available anymore. Going to land the slow, but nothing else.
Yeah, nice job from Easy Life picking out that Malzahar, forcing them to stay a little bit longer, and Vladimir gets first turret off of that, and yeah, they got the Dragon, they got the Morn, they got the Morgana flash at the expense of the Malzahar's flash, but I don't know if that's worth. That's a humongous Vladimir. Double large rod already completed. Looks like that Rabadon is going to be coming out really soon. And yeah, did not want to be the Darius right now.
This is the most Chad Vladimir build I've ever seen. Just build as much AP as possible. Has the Stork Boost, 2 large rods, 2 codexes. Just buy 2 of everything. It seems like he's now at 3-0. Rip Tails has been spawned here on the bottom side. Morn is going to get a nice couple of plays, take that turret down. Their second of the game, getting all the plates on 2 towers here for the Jumbos.
Yeah, and the Hecarim is sitting their bot lane, and with the pressure the bot lane is created, they're able to go so far up, but
oh, Marist is trying to re-engage.
From Malzahar.
Yeah, Marist is going in. Constantine ends up not actually dying. So much resistance is from the W. Actually, the other support going down as 2 scouts and manages to fall. Morn is trying to go in, but he's going to get impaled into the tower. Huge chunk of damage onto wheels, though. Jansu's instinct is killer. He's going to get stunned up, though. Argentine's going to pick up a kill, but Jansu will fall in return. No more, even more kills going over to Argentine Import. Now 5-0, a double kill, as he goes 2-for-1 in the fight.
Yeah, great job from Tufts turning that fight. Leona applying that CC, and Kaisa kiting back, doing that burst damage with the Kraken Slayer already completed, with the Q upgrade, and while Jansu kind of inted a little bit in there, diving into tower, getting stunned. Vladimir is now 5-0 with the Rabadons and double Fiendish Codex. He's really just telling Marist right here, that's a nice Vladimir you guys had, let me show you mine. And showing he is.
Yeah, 5-0-0. The bounties and KDAs are identical, it seems like, for Argentine Import right now. He is so far ahead. Deathcap first item is an insane pickup here for Argentine. He is popping off, has so much gold on his opponent, currently at about a 2k gold lead over Croissant Bandit.
Yeah, and because of those 2 plays where Argentine Import was able to come down, he just has put his team so far ahead as well. 30 CS almost on the Kaisa, and 104 on the Morgana. They're able to put so much pressure, and already 2 towers taken for Tufts.
Yep, more is probably soon to follow. The last outer turret is that one in the middle lane, but it looks like Marist does not want to try and give this up, as the goal lead has expanded to about 6,000 for the Jumbos. The one thing, though, for Marist is they have that 2-0 Dragon advantage. If they can manage to somehow get this Cloud Soul, could be a potential for them to turn around. Lots of use out of the Cloud Soul is available for the Skarner, for the Darius, for the Alistar. And it's going to be super important, as a lot of the fights for Marist revolve around their ultimates.
Yeah, but at the same time, if they are not able to successfully hold those dragons, if the Vladimir is able to get Cloud Soul with 4 Cloud Dragons, that is going to be very scary.
Croissant Bandit might have caught out Argentine import, but he's way too strong to try and go in. Constantine is here. The damage is coming in from Argentine. The heals are once again massive for the Vladimir. 2 straight kills. Morn comes in and secures the final one with a devastating charge.
Yeah, and that again, like, I think the idea, try to go on the play on the Vladimir, try to shut him down before he gets way too strong, but he already is pretty strong and did not match the fact that support was roaming. I feel like a theme for both teams. They're not really tracking where the support is going, and now that the Leona is in Tufts' hands, Constantine and Valor are doing a really good job of putting pressure around the map.
Yeah, definitely so. Even though Argentine's that top laner right now, playing all around the map, as you said, Adi. Second Rift Herald is going to be taken down by Tufts, their second of the game, as Morin will pick up tiny purple objective.
And Marist is going on that dragon, trying to play towards that wing condition, like you said, but Easy Life's already there, and Spell Shield is popped, so Ardex is going to put the suppress down, but it seems like Easy Life did more damage there with the pool, and Stopwatch is going to save him for a little bit longer, but nice timing on the Q. As,
a huge knockup from 2 scouts, though. That's all of Tufts being locked in. Vladimir's getting suppressed, so he gets shut down. That's going to be Lagwheels picking him up, and this could be the fight that Marist needs to turn it around. 3 already dead, make it 4, and alongside Easy Life falling, a clean ace picked up for Marist. They pick up their 3rd dragon of the game, and somehow they managed to turn this fight around, and the game is suddenly well within grasp once again.
Yeah, just really good layering of crowd control there, allowing the Darius to kind of pop off in that fight. The suppress from the Skarner plus the CC from the Alistar, shutting down that Vladimir, who had actually the charged up Q ready if he ever had a chance to cast it, but sadly he did not. And with the Morgana getting 1v1'd in the bottom lane, you know, there was no protection for the Vladimir there.
Yeah, and with that lockdown onto Argentine, that's kind of what the team composition of Marist has to do. Use the Impale, use that Nethergrass to lock down this Vladimir. Argentine import not going to be allowed to do much if Marist have to try and win this game, win this series for themselves. And that is going to be the answer here. But it looks like Argentine import is still way ahead. The gold lead is still way in favor of Tufts. And so it's going to be, you're going to need a bit more than just one fight to try and take down the Jumbos. It looks like they might be trying to look for it here. Like, that's the QSS you were talking about, Adi, though. Jansu picking it up right after the Kraken Slayer to prevent any sort of engage onto him.
Yeah, but the Kraken Slayer, the QSS is now down, and the Impale is coming up, which means that Jansu is going to have to play very safe. As Nethergrass comes onto Argentine import, he was way too far up.
No attempt to even use the pool. He was locked down for the entire time. 2 straight deaths now for Argentine import as he gets caught out in the solo lane. Now more.
Yeah, really not respecting that crowd control from the side of Marist. You know, he's really strong and he can like kind of match the 1v1s. But if he gets like a pick and the Skarner's there to assist, they can put down a ton of damage, especially with that Leandry's already completed for the Malzahar.
First tower of the game is getting it picked up for Marist. They get that mid-outer turret, and they're going to continue the push here. They land the slow onto Easy Life, going to use the Black Shield to stay alive for now. Croissant Bandit's going to let it nice bind, but a QSS also purchased for the Darius. Morn is now in a bit of a precarious situation as Bear Dog is going to pick him up. It's in all the speed from the little zones here on the Cloud of Soul, but Heart actually goes down first, and that's going to be Bear Dog going down as well. Jansu, Constantine, and the rest of Tufts are going in on to Marist. Argentine managed to teleport in as well. They end up taking him down actually to Croissant Bandit, but 3 for 1 going over to the Jumbos. They have another big advantage. It was a team fight win. They're going to pop the Herald and run straight to Baron.
Yeah, and really good job from Morn there, using the onslaught to CC as soon as he got out of that suppress. As you can see, Malzahar has another grasp. I don't actually know if he had during the fight, but he didn't have a chance to use it as he just got CC'd by Morn and like destroyed as Tufts had a really good turn.
Oh, this fight's not over yet though. Baron has been started up. Croissant Bandit's been locked up, taken down. Constantine will pick up the kill. But now the health bars on Tufts are getting dangerously low. The Baron is at 1200, 600, taken down by Morn. Dog is now within the enemy team though. Has the chem tank, but not much else. He's going to get taken down by John Stu as well. Morn is having some bad dreams of malefic visions, and he will get taken down by Wheels, and he gets locked down again. One dead. It's only the jungler so far, but Tufts picks up 2 in return, and they get the Baron.
Yeah, you see, Tufts also has a lot of ability to lock down. They have the binding from Morgana, and Croissant Bandit just kind of sat there, you know. QSS wasn't up, he didn't have enough HP, and he just got melted. And Tufts was able to secure the Baron, secure a 7,000 gold lead, and look to try to capitalize off this and extend that even further as the next dragon is coming up in just a minute.
Yep, 1 minute on this dragon. Once again, it is Marist that has the soul point advantage despite being down. So Tufts, despite having this Baron buff, despite having a big lead, is going to be forced into fighting for this objective. Taking a look at Croissant Bandit's build, Adi, that is a Silvermere Dawn. I don't think I've ever seen that item purchased in a game of Legends.
Yeah, but I just mean with the Morgana, Hecarim, and the Leona, there's just so much crowd control from side of Tufts that I think it's a relatively intelligent buy, as it you know, allows for him to try to pop off with the ulti in the backline without taking too much crowd control to stop him. And Easy Life starts TPing down. During Dolo's co-stream yesterday, he was talking about the power of Soul Point, saying that you're always going to know where the enemy team is during Soul Point because they have to be for that dragon.
The combo
and Morn gets ulted in.
But Morn is ulting in, has a big Steric shield. They're going to actually go towards Tufts. Jonsu gets the first kill, and more are soon to follow. That's 3 already. Make it 4 as the pool will finish him off. Double kill onto Easy Life, 4 straight kills. Marist knew where they were, but it didn't matter because they were so much stronger. Tufts picks up 4 straight kills. They're going to get the dragon and delay the soul.
Yeah, this is the second time that the Skarner has actually been the 6th member of Tufts, pulling in the Hecarim to the middle of the team and allowing for a beautiful ulti, and that was chained super well by Constantine Baldur with the Solar Flare, and with the 4-man chain CC, very easy to pick up with the Fed, Kaisa, and Vladimir. And with the 10,000 gold lead almost, probably be 10,000 after this tower comes down,
Yep,
they're so strong, and the Baron's going to be over in a little bit, but the gold lead they have gotten is definitely nothing to be trifled with.
And the one thing that we didn't really mention, 2 scouts went for the combo onto Argentine import and just missed it. Like, he just headbutted him out of the way. Maybe that was intentional, I'm not entirely sure. Obviously don't want to question this guy's decisions. He's much better at this game than I am, but I hate to see the potential engage on to the Tufts main carry getting denied by such an unfortunate circumstance.
Yeah, and now the QSS is picked up by Argentine Import himself, has so much gold that the QSS tax is only putting a tiny dent into his total income, and still has yet to finish that mythic item, but I'm assuming with about 2,000 gold in his pocket and the alternator, that Night Harster will be picked up pretty soon, or the Proto Belt.
Yeah, either one would be working out pretty well for Argentine Import, obviously. The Proto Belt could be good for the engaged Night Harvester for some more damage. Really up to the preference at this point. Dragon, none of the objectives are really up, but it looks like everyone's still around this Baron pit. Constantine might have gone in a little bit too far, though. Already has to use the Blast Cone to get out safely. Ultimate still up, though. Croissant Bandit's going to try and run in, land the Apprehend, try and get some resets off of this kill. Constantine is in a bad place, and Croissant Bandit manages to pick him up with the guillotine. Now the curtain call is opened up in a 4v5, and Tufts is going to have to try and run away. Nice use of the Unstoppable Onslaught to try and avoid the Impale coming out from Dog, and Tufts manages to survive, only losing its support.
Yeah, and that pool from Argentine Import really stifled the Darius there, who tried to flash in either W or E, but whatever it was, he missed because the pool and the onslaught from Hecarim and Vladimir respectively, you know, well, the other way around, not respectively, allowed him to stifle that engage.
Yeah, and that worked out really well for them. You know, obviously Constantine might have gone a little bit too far, and maybe the communication was not like completely on point there. But only losing one member after that was definitely really important. And the biggest thing, though, Adi, was that even though you managed to get a kill there for Marist, none of the big objectives are really up.
Yeah, and yeah, Baron and Dragon down, like you said. The waves kind of pushed in by Tufts, so we weren't able to get a tower either. So they really just ended up getting that kill and nothing more.
Yep, heading into the 26-minute mark. It feels like it's a lot later in the game due to all the action that has happened, and it's all Tufts so far in this game. 9,000 gold lead. We've seen how these games can turn right back around, though. So it's definitely possible for Marist to potentially make a comeback. Going to be a little bit harder than the other games, though. Its gold lead's a little bit bigger.
Yeah, they definitely have the crowd control to try to make a pick and, uh, make a room for that ultimate suppressor chain CC onto the Kaisa or Vladimir and Jin having that execute damage. But because of the massive gold lead, it just seems a lot more unlikely.
Baron is on the table in about 15 seconds. Both sides are trying to go in. Hex Flash is going to be available for two scouts. Not going to be able to get in onto Jansu. And that is probably going to be the target here for some of these carries. Or it could be Argentine. Beardog's going to run in with the Chem Tank. Not going to be able to hit anything after that. But here comes Croissant Bandit. He's going to get locked up by the Solar Flare. Devastating charge as well. Darius is already very low. Meanwhile, on the other side, Nethergrass is going to be issued onto Argentine Import. And the main carry for Tufts is down. That's going to be another kill going down onto Laj Wheels. Croissant Bandit goes down as well. Tufts is cleaning up this fight despite their main carry going down. Double kill for Jansu. Another one going over. 4 dead for Marist. Baron has started up. The jungler's alive, but it's no one else alive for Marist. He's going to give this one up.
Yeah, they really just put everything to try to shut down that Vladimir, the ultimate Nether Grasp. One thing about a suppress is it's a double-edged sword. You suppress the other person, but you yourself also have to stay still for the Malzahar, and for a really good charge onto the Malzahar, the Kai's able to dive onto that Jin, do the assassinating thing that apparently an ADC can do now, and I guess they have extended that goal lead to 12k as they start looking towards that dragon.
Yep. Once again, Soul Point is still available for Marist. Always going to be that little win condition that they have. Beardog is looking to go aggressive. The rest of Marist is starting to respawn, and they are right around the Baron pit. Another fight is soon to erupt, but it's going to be Argentine going aggressive onto Beardog to start this one off. Constantine's going to go in all the way over. The Solar Flare's not going to hit onto that much. Going to land the nice root onto Beardog, though. No use of the Nether Grasp just yet. There it is. Going to be going down. And that's going to be 2 straight kills picked up for the Jumbos. Double kill for Argentine. Double kill. Sorry, 1 kill going over to everyone else on the team. That's an ace. As it looks like Tufts is going to march down mid lane with the Baron buff. They're going to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, and I think that might be the game. 25 seconds, 20 seconds on the support and jungler, but with the Baron buff, with the Kaisa and the Hecarim doing so much damage to towers, not to mention the fact that Vladimir has so much AP. Good job from Archie to import, keeping those minions alive for a little bit longer, tanking and then using the pool. Looks like Tufts is keeping their playoff dream alive.
Yep, the game's over, the Nexus is gone, and Tufts takes it 2-1.
Yeah, Tufts just doing a really good job that game, kind of doing what Marist was doing to them before, playing around those Leona picks, trying to snowball that Vladimir. But the difference was they had to diversify their threats. Jansu played so well on that Kaisa, while everyone was focusing the Vladimir, he was diving onto that Jin, putting a ton of damage down, and I think this was a really good team effort, Game 3, and showed a lot of growth from Game 2 and the match yesterday from Tufts. And I'm very excited to see what they can do next game.
The Jumbos are back in the playoff race. They're taking that series against that Marist squad, who only has lost 1 series other than this one. So a huge victory for them. And I'm super excited to see this Jumbo team as well. We got 3 more games that we can watch from this team. They're going to have to win every one of them to have a chance at the playoffs.
Yeah, and now that Tufts was able to secure that victory. I kind of want to get Brent in for an interview. He's one of the coaches, and especially after that Game 3 draft, I really want to see what he has to say about this match.
We'll be right back. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back with or without an interview. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, we can get the team in very shortly. We'll see you in a bit.
All right, welcome back, everybody. After that amazing victory, I'm here with Brent, one of the coaches, to kind of do an interview, debrief after the game. So my first question I got to ask is, after yesterday's game, what takeaways did you guys take, and how did you like bounce back and prepare for today?
Well, we definitely went into VOD. Well, we had a VOD review of the games, and obviously those games were very disappointing to have not won. So we went in with a plan to kind of get the players thinking more about how to figure out what the best macro step is. So we really focused on setting up for barons and dragons, as well as as well as helping develop their overall planning for objectives and general control. So I think kind of drilling it in right before through VOD review was very helpful for us.
Yeah, and I think you guys did a really good job of that. The objective control game one was just amazing. You guys were down like a decent amount of gold, but every single time you guys had wards all over those pits. You were always the first one to get there, and I think that was a big part of that victory. Um, obviously that draft was pretty wild with the Vladimir taken away from the beginning and Flex top lane. What were you guys talking about with that draft, and how do you think it went?
Well, I think this draft it was definitely it was pretty five head. I can't lie. I think that the enemy team clearly didn't think that we played Kaisa because we banned it in game two because we didn't want to first pick it because we were still a bit unsure of picking it or not because we did prefer the Aphelios. But as soon as we kind of assumed they would do that, we had this whole plan to take the Vladimir away because Theo is a Argentine import, is a great Vladimir player himself, and we also wanted the Leona to take it away. And then when they picked the Malzahar, I knew that Will had a pocket pick with Morgana mid, and so it overall pretty much we were able to counter everything they threw at us there.
Yeah, that was Morgana. The Morgana pick was definitely very good, and the Vladimir, of course, kind of spoke for itself, doing a ton of damage, getting a big gold lead, and kind of leading to a pretty nice victory. But obviously there were some things to work on during those games. Not a complete perfect match. Looking forward, what do you guys want to do to keep working on to keep this playoff dream alive?
Well, I think we need to minimize our mistakes. There are times where we're taking fights for no good reason, especially when we are sitting on a lot of gold. So we would like to make sure that our players aren't getting too hypey, and making sure that they are making good macro decisions. And we also want to try to diversify some of our players' general champ pools and styles, just so we are not forced into picking specific champions every single game.
Yeah. Well, obviously, really good job on that draft. Really good job to Tufts for getting that victory, keeping their dream alive, and I wish you guys the best of luck. Thank you so much for coming in for the interview. I think we're gonna take a quick break here. Bring Andrew back for some closing thoughts. Thank you so much again for coming for this interview, and yeah, I'll see you later.
Thanks.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you once again to Brent for the beautiful interview, and once again, incredible draft. As we said before, and Tufts takes the victory 2 games to 1. But Adi, the work is not over yet. In order for Tufts to come back into the playoff pick, they have to win their next 3 games.
Yeah, they're playing in against Sheridan, BU, and Columbia next. 3 more matches with I believe it's Sheridan on Wednesday. So make sure to come back and watch that game. But like I said, work is not done. They need 3 more victories to secure their playoff spot. And I think after today's strong performance, I'm really hoping they can keep that going.
Yep. And while Marist was that strong team, they are going to be playing against a bunch of other pretty strong teams. We got Columbia sitting at 4-2, BU sitting at 4-2, and Sheridan sitting at a little bit lower, obviously, but still, I think that Tufts definitely has that momentum that they could need to possibly continue to climb their way up in the standings. And we'll see what happens here. We're going to be back on Wednesday at a bit of a different time. The broadcast will be starting at around 8 p.m. And we're really excited to see that game, Tufts University versus Sheridan. But we'll see what happens in that match, as I said before. Adi, anything you want to say before we close the show out today?
Uh, no, not really. Thank you guys for coming to watch. Viewership's been pretty good. Love the enthusiasm in chat. Yeah, again, shout out to Tufts. Really good job. Clinching that victory today. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
Absolutely. On the behalf of JumboCast and the rest of our production team up here, we'd like to thank you all for tuning in for our matchup today. Make sure to tune in on Wednesday evening for our another matchup here in the CSL between Tufts and Sheridan. We'll see you then.